All right. So, good day, good afternoon, and good evening to all of us. Thank you so much for coming tonight for our last session, which is the action and practice presentation that is happening right now. So, I am Kenzo Navarro. I'm one of the IYLP 2024 alumni from the Philippines, and I will be hosting this session. So, are you all excited? If you are, can I see some reacts on Zoom, maybe hearts, or like, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much for all the hearts and all the reactions. So now it looks like everyone is really ready and prepared. So thank you so much for the little interaction. All right, next slide, please. So now I would also like to have a warm welcome for our 2025 cohort. So congratulations, everyone. I know you all worked so hard for this. It's really nice to see everyone here, and thank you so much for coming. It's been a few months. It's been already like 9 months since you started, but today is the last day. It's really fast, and time, it really flies really fast. So thank you so much for coming. We now have 32 participants in our Zoom room. So yes, next slide, please. So again, welcome to our November session, which is the Action and Practice Session 2025. I'm happy to welcome you all from all parts of the globe. Next slide, please. So just some reminders or like for our housekeeping. Please turn on your videos or cameras if you can, and feel free to ask questions anytime. And please turn off your mic when not speaking. Next slide, please. All right, so for our agenda today, we just started with the opening, housekeeping, official briefing. That will be followed by a welcoming remark by CEO Ian of Food Institute Foundation, which will be a form of a video format. So fortunately, he couldn't really come tonight. And after that, there will be our group presentation. So groups 1, 2, and 3 will present. And next one will be our judges' feedback. Next slide, please. So from 1950 to 2020, group presentation, groups 4 to 6, and judges feedback after that, from 2020 to 2030. Next slide, please. All right, so from 8:30 to 9 p.m. will be the group presentation, group 7 to 10. Eco Sparks, STEM innovation program, solar powered and automated irrigation for sustainable farming at Blue Levy Farm, and lastly, Seeds of Tomorrow. After that, it will be followed again by the judges' feedback, then a general Q&A session with the judges. So some of you might be asked some questions regarding your action and practice program. And after that, it will be our closing remarks and debriefing. Next slide, please. So for our goals, this is just like a little reminder. I know everyone really were oriented when we started our IWLP journey. So yeah, it is first of all, it is to foster young leaders with a broad global perspective and the ability to create solutions of sustainability and a spirit of humanistic culture and care. Next one is build a strong network of passionate and service-minded youth leaders. And lastly, this is what happened. I think the slides move. Oh, true. All right. So now going through our program guide, this is just some sort of like our just like some sort of like looking back to our journey and your journey especially. So during your IWLP session, you had 7 courses, which includes knowledge and skill training, action and practice, of course, which is the one that we'll be presenting today. Next one is the cultural sharing, SDG sharing. Probably you had that within your groups and in the group chat, or like as simple as having like conversation with your co-participants in the IWLP program, and also mentor-mentee meeting, which happened on site and online. So this is also our curriculum. We had this year we launched a different kind of curriculum. So we had online learning, which is something that we were doing like once a month, and also face-to-face learning, which was actually held in different Tsuchi chapters in our countries, and of course hybrid blended learning in general. So all of these, like we started April 12th. Then now it's already November 8th. So imagine like you guys went through all these sessions from April 12th up to this day. So congratulations, everyone. I'm just so happy to see you all. And I hope you are all proud of yourselves because you've been through this training and you met so much experts and you were able to collaborate with different people with international backgrounds. So I'm just so happy to see you all tonight. Next slide, please. All right, so for our opening remarks, will be since CEO Yan couldn't really come tonight, we'll be playing a short video message that came from him. So maybe just a little bit, maybe a round of applause for him.
Good evening, distinguished judges, mentors, and our 2025 IYLP cohort. It is truly a joy to be here with all of you today for the IYLP action and practice presentations. As we wrap up the 2025 IYLP program, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude and congratulations to each member of our cohort for your hard work and dedication. Over the past months, you have shown remarkable commitment by participating in online courses, to engaging in regional activities, and finally planning, researching, and implementing your action and practice projects. Thank you for walking this journey with such sincerity, perseverance, and kind heart. The IYLP program has never been just about learning or completing assignments. It's about discovering your passion for sustainability and understanding your values and learning how to turn them into action. Each of your AMP projects represents not only an idea, but also a journey of growth where you learn to listen to others' needs, to cooperate with your teammates, and transform challenges into opportunities. Your projects, whether they are focused on sustainability, education, or community engagement, are all meaningful seeds of hope for our shared future. These are not small things. In today's complicated world, it takes courage to care, even greater courage to act. You have done both. To our mentors who have guided, supported these young leaders, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude for your time, wisdom, and encouragement. You have helped nurture them throughout this one-year journey and inspire them to see that true leadership begins with services and commitment. To our judges, thank you for joining us this evening, for your willingness to offer valuable feedback and guidance for the presentation later tonight. Your support means a great deal to our youth and to the growth of this program. And finally, to our IYLP youth, I hope you remember this moment as more than just a presentation. It is a milestone that marks the beginning of your lifelong journey as compassionate leaders. As you continue forward, May you always keep this spirit alive, to be grounded yet visionary, to be humble yet courageous, to be compassionate yet determined. The world needs young people like you, those who care deeply, act wisely, and inspire hope in others. Once again, thank you all for your dedication and contributions. Congratulations to each of you. Let's look forward to an evening of presentation fulfilled with
UN conference.
innovation and impact. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. So we would like thank you so much, CEO Yen. He's not here right now, but we really learned so much, and it was this journey was truly inspiring for all of us, especially seeing these young leaders leading different kinds of projects and having these passion projects that started from a vision and now it's becoming a reality. It's truly inspiring as these steps will really create a positive change or impact in the future. So it was really inspiring. And thank you so much again, CEO Yen, even though if you're not here, thank you so much. Now we're closer to our oh okay. We're now closer to our presentation. So these are just some rules and guidelines of the presentation. So it will be 8 to 10 minutes for each group, depending on the size of your group. Then just a bit of reminder when the countdown 3 minutes, there will be a countdown, so 3 minutes and 1 minute each. Host will also mute your mic once time is up. So this is we're very strict with this. So please follow the time follow the specific time frame. And ANP results will be released on November 12th. So it will be 4 days from now. Well, I'm in the Philippines right now, so it will be 4 days from now at GMT 8, GMT plus 8. So yes, please get ready for your presentation slides. All right, next slide, please. All right, so for our evaluation criteria, here there's different evaluation criteria that we're looking on. Number one is the first one is clarity and relevance of sustainability, like how clearly the project addresses a sustainability issue and its relevance to real world challenges. Second one is the research and implementation plan, the quality of research supporting the project and the feasibility of implementation plan. Next one is innovation and impact, the project's originality and its potential for positive impact. Then sustainability and feasibility, the long-term feasibility of the project and its practical feasibility. And lastly, the presentation skills, the clarity, engagement, and effectiveness of the presentation delivery. So it will be all 20% each, the total of 100%. Right. So now we'll be introducing our judges. So our first judge is Mr. Christian Mortaletti. He's a sustainability specialist at UNSCAP. Next one is Mr. Rick Alindayu, project analyst at UNDP Philippines. He's actually my co-alumni from the 2024 cohort of IYLP. Next one is Miss Amelia Andrews, Senior Advisor, Lead Regional Communication at Child Fund Asia Region. Then Mr. Sean Tan, Special Assistant to the CEO and Deputy Director for Global Partnerships and Youth Development of Buddhist Teaching Foundation. It's nice to see you, Brother Sean. Next one is Mr. Kevin Tan, Deputy CEO of Suchi Foundation, Malaysia, Malacca. Then Mr. or Dr. Anton Marilim, Deputy CEO of Buddhist Teaching Foundation, Philippines. Nice to see you, Doc Anton.
Hello po. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc Anton. Then we also have Mr. Yeolun Kyung, Deputy CEO of Suchi Foundation, Singapore. Ms. S.K. Tae of Suchi Foundation, Malaysia, Malacca. our very own Wei Yi Lee, the Regional Engagement Lead at Tucci Foundation Singapore. She's part of the 2023 IYLP cohort. And that's all. Can we give a round of applause for our judges? It's super exciting for tonight. So judges, good luck. We really do hope let the best team win for tonight. Now, of course, for the exciting part, I know everyone is really excited to know who will be the Mr. Stock Few winners of Action and Practice. So the award program, it will be the IYLP Learning Journey to Taiwan. It's a 7-day trip from October 5 to December 5 to December 11, 2025. During the course of the trip, the TIA Youth Conference will be held. So there will be expert sustainable seminar, sustainability workshop, and youth exhibition. And of course, it will also introduce you to TIA Youth program. And so the top few winners of ANP will receive up to the bubbles. The bubbles is so cute. All right, so the top three winners of ANP will receive up to 250 cash subsidy US dollars towards flight expenses paid in cash upon arrival in Taiwan. The amount is maximum 250 USD, so additional cost of your own expense. And meals, accommodation, and local transportation in Taiwan during the program, it will be all funded. And now let us proceed to our most awaited part, which is the group presentation. All right, so group 1 to 3 will present first. So for our group one, are you now ready to start? All right, so can we give a round of applause for group 1? All right, I'm calling on Ecoscape, a group from Singapore. So good luck and you can do this. Ecoscape, it's the group in here, and we use the raise hand function to acknowledge that the group is here.
Sorry, give us some time to share screen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Caleb. All right, so while waiting for the group, I just wanted to ask maybe someone from the group right now, anyone in this group chat, like, what's the most memorable SDG for you, or like, what's the most memorable day, or like training, specific month? Anyone from this group can answer? Okay. Anyone? All right, so no one's willing to volunteer, so maybe I think someone messaged. All right, so maybe while waiting, we can also remind the other groups from groups 2 to 10 to please prepare your slides beforehand so we can have a faster transition. Oh, here. So someone's
Hi,
ready.
sorry,
I
can you
think
see?
group 1 is ready.
Yeah, can you
Yes,
see the
yes, we
slides?
can see your screen. Yes, clearly.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, good luck, Group Escape from Singapore.
Good evening, everyone. We are Ecoscape from Singapore. And together with me, we have Yuan and Clarissa, and we are the headquarters of Ecoscape. So through our research, we figured that despite all the environmental awareness programs that are available out there in Singapore, young people still feel indifferent and disconnected towards large-scale climate issues. And also there's another group of people who struggle to translate what they know about sustainability and sustainable habits into actually taking action. So our solution is to try to make environmental education fun through puzzles and relatable by creating stories that can tailor to our target audience, which are youth. And our solution targets these three sustainable development goals. Next slide. And also these three Tzu Chi values. Next slide. The overall idea is to have players race against the clock to make everyday lifestyle choices on the spot in an escape room. These choices are small, but they can make significant changes to the environment. And hopefully, through the urgency of the escape room, our players are able to take away actionable and sustainable habits that can stick on their mind. And we have intentionally designed our escape room to mimic a Singaporean flag to reinforce the message that sustainable lifestyle can be seamlessly integrated into everyone's daily lives. And all of the games are tailored around real life issues that are really occurring in Singapore, such as waste and recycling, fast fashion, and also energy consumption. So when participants first arrive, they will be engaged in a plot and play as Tara's, which is the main character's siblings. Tara is a shopaholic and she loves to go to concert, but unless she can prove that she is responsible and can be more eco-friendly, everyone is grounded. And so players will have to help Tara adopt sustainable habits to complete each puzzle in order to move on to the concert.
So for our first puzzle, the friendship bracelet, Tara wants to prove to her mom that she can be more sustainable by making her concert friendship bracelet out of recyclables. So what players have to do is to answer 4 sustainability related questions that are linked to real data and real life stats. And these answers will correspond with logs, which will then open up to map pieces that they have to reorganize to indicate the location of all the bracelet items. But it's not as easy as it sounds because not all the items are recyclable. So the players need to discuss amongst each other to differentiate between recyclable and non-recyclable items. And that's where the learning takes place. For our second puzzle, the clothing pile, Tara scolded for being like overly consumptive of fashion. And so players need to sort between more sustainable and less sustainable clothing to show their mom that they know what they're doing. And the learning points are this kind of like nuance of sustainability because there's not just one fixed criteria for what makes something sustainable or not, but multiple. And also the storyline links Tara's behavior with her mom's household burdens, and it suggests that care for the environment and for other people are all interconnected. Now, our last puzzle is the last switch. And Tara's mom allows her to go to a concert, but asks her to switch off all electronic appliances before leaving the house. So what players have to do is to look around the escape room. There are many clues, such as this poster over here, that correspond certain letters with each appliance, and players need to unscramble the letters to form the correct code. So what we want players to walk away with is this idea that they should be responsible and accountable through all the little habits in their lives, regardless of context, whether they are stressed or other situations. And for our post-Ecoscape reflection, we guided players through a discussion on their personal experience and takeaways and provided them with an e-booklet on key environmental issues that we've introduced. And what we learned from their sharings is that most players have learned new knowledge, and they've also had a lot of fun because the games are challenging and informative at the same time. And being able to collaborate with strangers has given them that community to work towards sustainability. So our e-booklet is meant to be a fun and exciting way for people to learn, really go in depth into the information that we've introduced, and for them to have something concrete that they can hold on to in the long term that they can reference whenever they need. So we introduced the UN SDGs, talk about different climate change topics and their impacts on humans, and talk about very concrete statistics and local and global issues and how they interrelate with each other. And then we end off with talking about concrete, actionable steps that youths can take, especially the kind of organizations that they can join to volunteer, especially introducing 自己. And for the entire timeline of our project, we first spent a lot of time in preparation to research topics, design the games to make them interesting, ran multiple dry runs, as Kaylin will bring you through. And we ran our actual event last week, and we gave volunteers the opportunity to apply the knowledge that they've learned as participants to step up and become facilitators and leaders in their own right. And we'll also go through the impact assessment.
So before our actual event, we actually brought our escape room to the ground and engaged our target audience. And we have constantly improved our game and perfecting our system from the feedbacks that are gained from our players from the trial run. As you can see, we have 2 trial runs, and overall, next slide, 89% of them indicated that they have understood sustainability more after the game. Next slide. And this is definitely the flashback to our actual day. It's really rewarding to see people coming from diverse backgrounds and different age groups come together and solve challenges together. Yeah, and of course, the most rewarding is to see our players be able to solve our challenging puzzles. And we have in total 52 public signups they are outside apart from our trial run participants, and 43 players. All of them has reflected that Ecoscape helped them understand sustainability in a new way or in a deeper way. Specifically, before Ecoscape, only 10% rated that think they are proficient in sustainability. But after the Ecoscape experience, 50% of them rated 4 out of 4, which means they feel they're very proficient, and another 50% rated 3 out of 4. Next slide. And of course, we have a lot of golden words from our testimonials from the players, and we find a lot of recurring data, recurring words from them. For example, a lot of them say that Ecoscape has exposed them to understated and often overlooked issues of the environment that they never realized. And of course, a lot of them were able to take home daily habits and actionable steps to make them make more sustainable choices. Next slide.
And so the overall learning points for our project team are all really centered around community. For Kaylin, I think as a youth leader, the idea is to trust the process and trust the people that you work with, to know that the community always has your back, especially when you're working towards something that everyone is really passionate about and something that is good for the earth. And for me, I feel that I learned that everything in life is really interconnected, because being kind to nature is also a way to be kind to ourselves and to others. And for Clarissa, she feels that active listening and being empathetic to the community's needs is essential. So to round up, our team really feels that we are very grateful for the opportunity to be able to work to be able to change youth's mindsets, as well as work on an emotional experience to inspire them to work towards sustainability. And so for what's next, our future plans are to create an Ecoscape toolkit for others to run similar games. And we might share this with our schools in Singapore, but we also encourage our fellow delegates to contact us if you're interested in trying our game out in your own countries. And we might also reformat Ecoscape into an unmanned interactive exhibition or an escape room in a box, and maybe trial it with the School of Imagination for younger kids. But thank you so much.
So thank you so much, our group from Singapore, Ecoscape. Thank you so much, Kaylin, Yuan, and Clarissa. Now let's proceed to our second group, which will be
Hello, I'll be
Reclassify, Rethink, Reduce, Recreate, also from Singapore.
can you guys hear me and also see my screen?
Clear.
Okay. Okay, so I'll start now. Good evening, everyone. Today I'll be presenting Replastic, a one-day sustainability program designed to reshape how communities think about plastic waste and consumption in Singapore. So although our project is still in the developmental phase, we are excited to share the progress and also the vision behind it. My name is Xionglu, and together with my teammate Bao Yi, we are delegates from the 2025 IYLP program. Unfortunately, Bao Yi is unable to join us today, but I'll be sharing on behalf of both of us. So Project Reach Plastic is guided by the UN SDG 11 Sustainable Cities and Communities with a strong focus on um, particularly target 11.6, which aims to reduce the environmental impact of cities through improved waste management. In addition, our project connects closely with SDG 12, which is responsible consumption and production, SDG 13, climate action, and SDG 17, partnership for the goals. By weaving together collaboration, creativity, and education, Project Replastic hopes to nurture a more sustainable and also conscious community towards the plastic waste in Singapore. So in Singapore, we face a pressuring challenge on our only landfill, Pulau Semakau, is already more than half full and also projected to reach the maximum capacity by 2035. So despite the ongoing national campaigns, studies have actually shown that the public attitudes towards reducing single-use disposable items have not changed significantly. And also, many people genuinely care about environment, yet they often feel disconnected from how their everyday habits, from takeaway packagings to online shoppings, may contribute to the pollution and also the overconsumption. So in Project Replastic, we seek to bridge that gap in helping the communities understand that every small mindful choice can contribute to a larger environmental shift through a one-day community sustainability initiative that blends hands-on learning, creative exploration, and also guided reflection. Participants will, first of all, rethink their relationship with plastic consumption and waste. They will also reduce their individual plastic waste output by exploring practical, mindful lifestyles. And lastly, we create through upcycling and plastic molding workshops, turning discarded materials into meaningful, usable items. So this program invites students, families, and also local residents to come together and rediscover how sustainability can be both educational and enjoyable. Ultimately, participants will walk away with not only a crafted item, but also a renewed purpose and a sense and connection to their environment. So Project Replastic aligns closely with Shiji's mission of environmental protection and the purification of human heart and earth. Shiji reminds us that earth is our shared responsibility and that meaningful environmental protection begins within each individual. So as of now, Project Replastic is still in our planning and partnership coordination phase. We are planning to implement the workshop in early 2026 at the Chiji's community space, followed by a short digital reflection campaign after the initiative. We are currently exploring two partnerships. The first one is Think Design and Make, which is a Singapore-based prototyping studio that offers 3D printing, CAD design, and also creative engineering workshops. And the other one is Plastify Singapore, which is a social enterprise that recycles plastic waste into reusable goods and conducts educational workshops on recycling. While both are strong collaborators, we are leaning more towards the second one, which is Plastify Singapore, because its mission and workshop model aligns more closely with the project values of community engagement and environmental compassion. And this is a detailed breakdown of our project timeline. We are currently in the planning and partnership phase and finalizing our collaborations and logistics. In December, we'll move into preparation and training, gathering materials, and briefing the facilitators. Implementation will follow in January 2026, where we'll host a one-day replastic workshop and reflection session at Shiji's community space. Finally, we'll conduct the evaluation and reporting, compiling the feedbacks and the outcomes for further presentation to Shiji. As for the main program itself, it will be conducted in two parts. The first part will be an educational sharing session, which will be an interactive discussion on overconsumption, the plastic life cycle, and ways that individuals can adopt sustainable habits. And the second part is an interactive workshop that will be a hands-on plastic upcycling modeling session guided by Plastify Singapore, where participants will transform used plastics into reusable items. And here is a detailed expected outcome for following the implementation of our project. And in summary, through Project Replastic, we aim to engage around 50 participants, create over 50 upcycled products, and strengthen collaboration between Shiji Youth and Plastify SG. In the long term, the program is expected to increase environmental awareness, inspire follow-up waste reduction efforts, and lay the foundation for future youth-led sustainability workshops and replication across other Chiji chapters. And to end off, I just want to thank Chiji for giving us this opportunity and also the platform through IYLP. And it's been really meaningful to connect with like-minded people to have thoughtful discussions, whether it be online or local sessions, and also the friends I made in the local Chiji community. And we are very grateful to have the chance to share our project today, even though it's still in the implementation stage. I'll thank Chiji for the support and the comments, and we will continue working towards our project implementation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, group Replastic, Rethink, Reduce, and Recreate from Singapore. So a round of applause for this group. So now let's call on the third group, which will be presenting right after this group. So we're calling on group Safe Water for Every Child, School Water Tank Construction for SDG 6 Advancement from Nepal. So it will be Sirapa and Samrat. So go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Oh yeah, this.
Good evening and namaste to all the respected judges, mentors, and fellow participants. We are Team Nepal, myself Sirapa Prajapati, a final year medical student, joined by my teammate and my brother Samrat Prajapati, a civil engineer under the mentorship of our respected mentor Wang Mingmong and our facilitator in Nepal, Dr. Nirdesh. Let me take us back to when we met Siti. 10 years ago, when a devastating earthquake struck Nepal, our city Bhaktapur faced immense destruction. During those difficult days, Suchi Foundation came into our lives as a rescue angel. With selfless help and unwavering support of Suchi, this foundation resonated as a symbol of compassion and relief. Inspired by their selfless work, my brother and I joined as young volunteers, and our parents provided space in our home to support Suji's medical team for health camps. Over time, our hearts were very deeply touched by Suji's mission of love and humanity. Today, even after 10 years, we remain grateful and honored to still be connected with Suji through IYLP Cohort. Let us now introduce our ANP project, where we put those lessons of compassion and teamwork into practice. So, our project is titled Safe Water for Every Child. We aim at advancing SDG 6 in Nepal by focusing on improving water accessibility and hygiene in schools. As Master Chanyan said, water is life, it must be cherished. This simple yet powerful idea inspired our entire journey. Next up, as this project is fully based on Nepal, I would like to invite my brother and my teammate Samrat Prajapati to carry forward the presentation and explain about the project in detail.
Good evening and namaste to all the respected judges, mentors, and fellow participants. Myself, Samrat Prajapati. Our IYLP journey was truly one of leadership and compassion. These pictures represent our active learning experience in these months of leadership training. From online learning to on-site visits and training programs, it has really been a fruitful journey. Every moment, from brainstorming sessions to taking action, it strengthened our belief that small acts of kindness can create ripples of lasting change. We learned that leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions and walking alongside others with an open heart. I would like to highlight the SDGs addressed by our project, which are the SDGs 6, 3, 9, and 4. As you can see, we believe clean water doesn't just quench thirst, it uplifts health, education, and hope. So, SDG 6 is our major priority in our ANP project. Our project site is the Nepal Armed Police Force School, located in a hilly area surrounded by pine forest. This project came to light when APF School Authority came in contact with Suchi explaining the situation in school. What happened was, in September of 2024, a landslide destroyed their only water source, a natural spring and pipeline. Over 900 students and 150 staff lost their water supply overnight. With no water access, students and staff were forced to carry water from distant sources. It wasn't just inconvenient, it was unsafe, unhygienic, and deeply affected education and health. So, in order to overcome this condition, we plan to study this site with 4 core objectives in mind: to build an underground storage tank, to improve hygiene, to build awareness on water conservation and sanitation, and to create a sustainable model which the school can maintain independently. Our main goal was simple yet vital: to ensure every student has safe water every day. Next. This project directly addresses key targets of SDG 6, ensuring sustainable water management at the local level. So, we began with planning and coordination and studied the site. Then our research led to the construction of a strong 100,000 liter underground tank with a supply system. Parallelly, we planned awareness programs for students on hygiene and water conservation. These are some of the snaps of our project site. In the next slide, the left image is of the discussion with school principal about water supply situation in the school premises. Then we did the site visit of water source together with our Dr. Nirdesh. And the last picture below is the construction of water tank foundation. The side walls and top cover of the tank is also under construction, and we plan to complete the water tank within this year. And during the project planning and implementation, we made sure that there is community partnership because no effort succeeds alone. We worked hand in hand with Chuchi Buddhist Organization, APF School, and HiCap engineers. This partnership reflected one of Chuchi's core values: working together with compassion for the good of all. Likewise, we believe that it will have tremendous transformative outcomes. Over 900 students and 150 staffs will now have reliable, year-round access to clean water. Similarly, the teachers can now focus on teaching and students on learning. This project definitely has an impact in the lives of students, teachers, and the school community. We believe we have built a dignity because clean water restores self-respect. This project will turn a crisis into a solution and become a model for replication in the nearby communities. Also, we have envisioned in creating a lasting effect through this project that we plan to maintain and monitor the system regularly, to include vast education in school activities, also replicate this model in other schools, and empower youth as water ambassadors. Every task that we have performed throughout the project implementation is deeply rooted in Suchi's core values, which are compassion in action, environmental mindfulness, education for sustainability, community unity, and cherishing resources. Every drop of water that we will save from this project will remind us of Master Chenyan's wisdom that every drop matters. Also, we would like to inform you about a pending activity. Due to some unforeseen delays and political unrest in my country, our educational classes on water conservation could not be conducted yet, but we plan to complete it in the coming months. most probably December or in January, with continued guidance from Chuchi Nepal and our mentor. Next. And I would like to express our personal reflection that me and my teammate experienced during this entire course. This journey has changed us personally. We learned that true leadership is in serving with heart. Sustainability begins with mindfulness, and even youth like us can make a real impact when guided by compassion. Working between Nepal, Taiwan, and China taught us adaptability and global perspective. Finally, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for the love and support shown during the 2015 Nepal earthquake. As my sister shared earlier, it was truly a time of great loss. In that time of immense pain, Chuchi supported us in our entire community with abundant care and resources. We sincerely hope to have an opportunity to repay this kindness in any way we can. Lastly, thank you for listening and for always supporting us. Namaste.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Group 3 from Nepal. Thank you so much. Wow. So that's just the first 3 groups. So we witnessed 2 from Singapore and 1 from Nepal. And we can really see the diversity of these projects. And can we just give them a round of applause? These are really amazing projects. And these are just the first 3 projects that we're seeing tonight. So there's more to come. And of course, to have a bit of commentary regarding these groups, may I call on one of our judges, Mr. Christian Mortelli, for some comments or feedback.
Yes. So just so I'm clear, right? Just comments and feedback, not questions.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
Yes, just feedback for now.
Okay. First of all, amazing presentations. Very clear, very well put together, and I think addressing a lot of important topics. I think, at least what struck out to me for Ecoscape was I really like the kind of the gamification aspect, but also like turning it into an escape room. I thought that was quite a novel approach because we've seen gamification a lot in terms of sustainability education and stuff, but I thought this kind of took it to the next level in the creativity and the hands-on nature of it. So I thought that was really innovative and quite nice. And I suppose then for, Replastify, I really like how they were sort of analyzing the, relationship with consumption. I think, the personal connection to sustainable development is very important in what we also do personally. So it's not just about societal action, but also, personal level action, also kind of reanalyzing, our own relationship with sustainable development. I thought that was a very nice approach and a very nice way to frame it. And then I think finally, for the group, the group from Nepal, Safe Water for Every Child, I was really quite inspired by how you took your ethical approach, how you took kind of the lessons that you learned from a hard time, turn that into compassion, turn that into action. And I think that's very inspiring and very motivating. And yeah, and altogether, all the groups tackling very important challenges regarding SDG 11, SDG 6, even SDG 12, really kind of looking at these in a very creative way. And it's quite inspiring. And I really look forward to seeing the results of these projects.
Thank you so much, Sir Christian Mortelli from UNSCAP. So thank you so much for your feedback. Now let's call on the second judge for to give a feedback for the first 3 groups. We're calling on Mr. Sean Tan. Brother Sean.
Thank you, Kenzo. Thank you so much for these 3 groups. I think you have set the high bar for the upcoming groups. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you have done. For Ecoscape, I think that is a very comprehensive program that you have done for all the dry run, trial run, and also you have been finished the program and received some feedback. Within your presentation, on the upper left-hand side, you have a small QR code that includes of the booklet. So I have scanned and looked through. Oh, that's very informative. That includes of 30 slides that put into details in all the programs that you have sharing to the participants. I think that is something we should continue work on, or maybe the model or the content itself that is good to share to more people that can be used, maybe not just in Singapore. So I think that is very great program that you have done, and also the feedback seems very well. And for the second group, reshape, that is also very important to upcycling, to get plastics. So I'm sure today you have a lots of different presenters that present from different projects or perspective. I'm sure some of the good ideas that come through, maybe you can take it, and then that would be maybe useful to help you to implement in near future. And for the final group, Safe Water for Every Children, I was in Nepal in 2015 for the earthquake relief myself. And that time we was working with UNICEF. They are working on the WASH. So water itself in Nepal is pretty important, especially for the children. So I think that is very important, and I can't wait to see what would be the content that you are going to teach for the children and make them motivated, because that is something that pretty important to have awareness. It's not just giving them water tank only, not the physical parts, but how to educate and improve on the educations. I think that is pretty important. So hopefully after these presentations, you might have opportunity to implement the program, and then you can share it to us, share it in the group to our friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Sean, for your feedback for the first three groups. Now let us proceed to our third judge, who will also give a feedback for the first three groups who presented this tonight. So may I call on Mr. Leo Lun, Deputy CEO of Tzu Foundation.
Thank you. So yeah, thanks for the wonderful presentation by all the three groups. I think definitely the time given probably wouldn't do justice, right? Of all the great work that the team has delivered. I'm sure there are a lot of great contents. Probably we can actually follow up with your full report on that. I think just a quick feedback, right? I think for Ecoscape, definitely the idea is very novel, and actually like the gamification part is definitely something very interesting. I think the at the end you mentioned about to actually share it as a package so that we can actually bring it out to and share with other organizations who are interested to use it as an idea. I thought that is actually a very good idea. And then I think also in Singapore, how my feedback is like how do we consider to make it modularized so that actually we can actually port it to like a pop-up kind of a concept. We can do it in any events that is we just need a space, and then things that you can immediately have it, because I know space in Singapore is very precious, but something you probably have to think out of the box on how you want to scale it up. So that's my feedback. On the replastify, I think the idea is great. That definitely is a teething problem that Singapore is facing. In terms of the community outreach, my feedback probably is the concept is not something, I would say the outreach is not something like we are doing it for the first time. I think key is really the team maybe should spend a bit of time to actually look at some of the workshop or the outreach that has conducted, and we can actually learn from them, and and things that what works and what doesn't. I think that will definitely help you to actually shape your idea to be even more engaging with the public. I think that's my feedback on that. And finally, I think on the Nepal water project, definitely something very impactful. Like what Brother Sean has mentioned, I think the idea definitely, targeting building at the school is to me is going to be a very impactful. Why? Because we are going to be able to impact immediately, hundreds of children in the school, and from there, you leveraging on the children to educate each of the family. I think that the ripple effect is going to be very wonderful. I think that you do consider drawing on that. I think definitely we will be able to make an even more impactful change at the site. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Leo, for the feedback. Now that we heard the judges' feedback for these first three groups, now I also wanted to ask the first three judges if you have any questions for the first three groups. If you have any questions, you may ask them now.
I just have one question, if that's okay.
Okay.
For Team Ecoscape, I was just kind of wondering about the items that are used in the game itself. Is there any kind of a plan to have the ideas themselves have a story behind them? For example, I saw like there was electronic appliances or clothing. So I was kind of wondering, like, do the actual items used in the game have a story too? Like, is this an upcycled item? Is this a repurposed item? Is this a secondhand item, that kind of thing? I was just kind of wondering about the actual materials used, if they would also play a role or a part in the game.
Yes, thank you so much for asking that question. Basically, we did source all of our materials from, actually, we partner with Tsuji, and then we source all of our materials that are supposed to be recyclables that are brought from the public. Yeah, so all of the materials that we use are recyclable. And regarding the electronic appliances, I think like what um one of the judges mentioned just now, we do have a lot of constraints in terms of space and also resources. So we try to use as much, we try to be creative with the limited resource that we have. So the room that was given to us was actually a room that were used to engage children and do children tuition programs, children therapy programs. So there are a lot of appliances that we were able to tap on, and we kind of also brought in appliances that were already in the center into the room and to be part of the game. Yeah, and even the clothings were also donated from the public.
Thank you.
Sorry, just to quickly add on about like the interior design, because we also designed some of the posters to help with the character and the story building. So we only put up one of the posters, but we have two other ones, and one of them is like a concert, kind of like a band poster. So we are hoping that not only by like using recyclables itself, but also like by designing our own creative like infographics, that we can kind of make the main character seem a bit more like a real person to help with like the immersion.
All right. Thank you so much for answering the questions, and thank you so much, Mr. Christian, for asking the specific question. So, is there any other question for the other groups from the other judges, Brother Sean and
I have a
Mr.
questions
Leo?
for group 3. So
Okay.
what will be the content for the awareness class that you might want to take it next month in Nepal for the student? So how will it look like?
Yes, we have already finalized all the contents. We have also scheduled the dates 3 times, but due to some political condition in Nepal, we had some sort of lockdown a few days back. So we had postponed it. In the courses, we will conduct it class by class. Like we have class 9 and class 10 students. We will have programs in which we will teach for 15 to 20 minutes about SDGs, and then 15 to 20 minutes about the water conservation and water situation in Nepal and in the world as a whole, because water is not just a problem of rural areas right now. The whole world is facing at least some kind of problem in water. Maybe that can be in packaged water, that can be for agricultural water or any source. So we will be teaching them that. And for the classes below 8 and 9 and 10, we have made some paintings that is not fully painted, but it is only a sketch. And then we will allow them to paint and explore their own inner ideas to paint those informative pictures in different formats, and then organize sharing classes among them. And then every week we will have some leaders in those classes. We will conduct a separate small group programs about water conservation, hand washing, and wash programs. So we have scheduled all of them.
All right. Thank you so much for answering, Samrat, and thank you so much, Brother Sean, for asking this specific question. All right, so is there any other questions?
Yeah, I do have one, more for
Okay,
group 2 as well. I think for the 1 day, the community initiative, could you maybe just like give me some idea in terms of the outline of the program, of the, of that day, what is the, how do we want to engage with the participants?
So the 1 day program will have like the two parts. So the first part, it will be like a workshop style where we'll engage with the participants on their lifestyle with regards to like the consumption of plastic. So there will be engagement in terms of like discussions on how they can change their habits and reduce the plastic consumption, and also ways that they can recycle plastics in their day-to-day life. And for the second part, it will also be engaging since our partner will have like a workshop style. So they will get hands-on with the process of making like reusable items out of plastic items that would have been discarded. So at the same time, they will have a deeper appreciation and also like have a greater sense of like plastic, lowering the plastic consumption and also like reusing plastic in their future day-to-day life, and also spreading this awareness to the people around it.
Okay, thank you.
all right. Thank you so much for answering group 2, and thank you so much, Mr. Leo, for the question. Now, I would like to thank the first 3 groups for presenting. So thank you so much again, and thank you so much, judges, for giving feedback and some questions for clarification. Now let's proceed to our next group presentation, group 4 to 6. And the first group will be who will be presenting will be Project City Green Pockets from the Philippines. So you may now turn on your cameras and you may now present your slides. Uh, is there anyone from Project City Green Pockets?
Hi,
May you
yes, sorry,
please?
that's me.
Oh, sure, no problem. Okay.
Let me share my screen first. Okay. All right, can you guys see it now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'll start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present to you the project. So my name is Janelle Ray Bihigakit, but you can call me Gin. So it's the alcoholic drink, gin. And I'm from the Philippines. I'm currently in Butuan City here in Caraga region in Mindanao. So the title of the project is Project City Green Pockets. So it can hit multiple SDGs such as SDG 2, zero hunger, 11, sustainable cities and communities, 12, responsible consumption and production, 13, climate action, and of course, 17 for the partnership for the goals. Now, last year, we actually conducted a community scanning in highly urbanized barangays here in Butuan City. And turns out 4 out of 5 households throw their bio-waste either into the waterways or dump them in vacant canals. So it's actually a huge problem because the local government unit do not collect these wastes because they are encouraging each household to have their own composting units. Now, to be in when I visited Agusan National High School, I inquired to them if they have compost pits. They said they do not have enough space to have one because all of their buildings are actually compacted. And if they have a compost pit, it might produce a hazard for the students if not managed well. So as a solution, we introduced to them the City Green Pockets. So City Green Pockets is technically, we provide them with the technology transfer of, and provide them with 10 gardenators, which I will be explaining later on, and provide as well the students and the youth a capacity building workshop to teach them about food waste management and on how to grow their own food. So the Gardenator, this is basically the heart of the project, is a technology developed by Kids Who Farm. So this is an NGO from Zamboanga City, and we work with a partnership with them. So the Gardenator is a low-cost, low-tech, and it's made with 100% repurposed materials that you can use to plant up to 25 leafy or fruiting vegetables. And at the heart of the Gardenator is a built-in composter where households or individuals can put in their biodegradable wastes. So how does it work? So in the middle is where you put the bio wastes, and over time it will become an organic biofertilizer. And around it is a soil mix so that you can plant on it and around it 25 leafy and fruiting vegetables. So it's very low cost and effective because, again, it's made from 100% repurposed materials. And based on the data, you can actually harvest up to 10 kilos of fresh vegetables every 2 months and biocompost 20 kilograms of food wastes in the same cycle as well. And every month you can expect to save at least 500 pesos because instead of purchasing these leafy vegetables, you can just pick it out from your gardenators. Now, this is an example. We actually planted some sweet potato on this gardenator because its leaves are very healthy as a food choice. So what makes it relevant to this program? So it actually hit for core values of Chuchi Foundation. So environmental protection, because it reduces food waste pollution, humanistic education, because we teach the youth on how to manage their food waste and teach them how to grow their own food as well. And it comes with great love because we care for not only for the people, but also for the environment. And lastly, it's so simple and it's also sustainable that anyone can replicate this anywhere in the world. So these were actually the objectives that I presented before implementing the project. So number one is to provide 10 gardenators in one spot or area starting at schools. Number two is to increase the awareness and participation of the youth in the Sustainable Development Goals. And number three, strike partnerships with 3 private or public institutions. So what happened to this project was before we implemented it, I had to send a lot of letters to different offices in the Department of Agriculture, the local government units of Butuan City, seeking financial or in-kind support. And then I went to visit the Agusan National High School and conducted an ocular inspection of the area so that I can see where we can implement it. And also a second high school was actually a part of our target as well, but we were only able to successfully implement in one school due to resource economics. And of course, I met with my team. So these are actually my team of volunteers from Kids Who Farm. So I'm the leader of this team. I met with them and discussed with them the plans and how to make this project successful. And in this picture, I also pitched this in our Regional Agriculture and Fishery Council under the Youth Sectoral Committee. I was hoping for them to buy into this project, but I guess the budget is so hard to pull out right now at the end of the quarter. But anyways, so this is what happened so far. So our team, volunteer team, created the 10 gardenators. And then on the implementation day, we turned over what we made to Agusan National High School. And prior to this turning over, we actually conducted the workshop with a few students as well. So not all students who joined the workshop prior to this were able to join in the implementation day, probably because they had their own classes. Now, and then for the objective number 2, I was able to provide an orientation to the youth participants about the Sustainable Development Goals. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, I wasn't able to dig deeper and provide them more information about it. But that's an opportunity in the future that I can maybe provide them more about the SDGs. And for the third objective, I was able to successfully have Augusto National High School sign a memorandum of understanding, its partnership agreement for this project, that they will be helping me in terms of monitoring of for the sustainability of this project. So these are the outputs so far. 10 coordinators were provided. Objective 1, check. 40 youth participants from the school and provided them with an insight about the SDGs. Objective number 2, check. And 1 memorandum of agreement and 10 commitment forms signed by the students. Objective number 3, check. And just to give you a background, this is actually the total costs of the project, including the materials and the tools. So I was not able to include printing and mobility expense because we don't have receipts for that. But yeah. And luckily, I just want to share this with you that Ma'am Lynette actually helped me raise funds to support this project. So Ma'am Lynette, thank you so much for this financial support. It was really a huge relief on my end because yeah, there's a lot of constraints in implementing a project. So thank you so much. So this is my team. There's actually a lot. There's actually 8 of us. So these are the people who can fit in this one slide. So these are my team of volunteers. These are agricultural advocates. So I'm very lucky to have them with my team. So the project was actually supported as well by the City Agriculture and Veterinary Department. They provided us with seeds and T-shirts to give to the students. And the Department of Agriculture Agricultural Training Institute of Caraga region provided us with a bus so that we can transfer all the materials and the volunteers to and from the venue. So in the future, we plan to invite the National Nutrition Council to get involved with this project because we believe that this can help reduce the malnutrition issue in our region. And we want to involve the Department of Agriculture, National Urban and Peri-urban agriculture program. We've actually talked already. They were present during the implementation day, and they already agreed that we can strike a memorandum of agreement with them so that for in the future, for more communities to have green pockets, they are the ones who will provide us with the materials. So we are very glad to have them, and of course, implement more in other schools and communities in Butuan. So we already have a lineup of communities where we will be providing them with a coordinator. So far, in January and February next year, there are already communities who reached out to us who also wish to have this project in their barangay. So thank you so much. Maraming salamat and shukran. So my name is Janelle Ray Higakit, and this is Project City Grain Pockets. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jiniel or Jean. Thank you so much for presenting. That is Project City Green Pockets. Maraming salamat and thank you so much. Now let's proceed to our next group, which is also from the Philippines. What time is it? AI time. May I call on Harvey and Sid? Okay. Go ahead, guys.
Okay, thank you, Kenzo, and thank you also to Jin. Great work. So, right now we're gonna talk about an AI project. So myself and Sid, are on a digital literacy and AI workshop. So what is it specifically? Is that just to give a background? There's myself and Sid as well. So myself, I am dabbled in human capital. So I've done digital transformation projects for Fortune 500 companies, and also Sid herself is a sustainable energy expert in the Philippines as well. And what time is it? AI time is more about an AI project, which is a digital literacy A&P project for tertiary students in the Philippines. So just to give you a brief background on why we wanted to focus on AI is because I think the main theme of 2025 and even the latter bit of 2024 was AI. We saw how GPT models came from, let's say, GPT-4 to 4.5 and then now to 5 and beyond. And right now we're in the AI age where everyone is harnessing what AI can do. But as AI is increasing its power and presence, we also see a digital divide happening in the Philippines because of the wide geographic remoteness and also the underdeveloped infrastructure. So despite internet penetration reaching high percentage, we still see a significant reach of the Philippines remaining offline or underserved, especially in the rural areas of the Philippines as well. And then for this one, the SDG address will mainly target SDG 9.8, which is the universal access to ICT, and also indirectly SDG 4, quality education, and SDG 8, the decent work and economic growth. So for the project overview, so since we saw that even with the AI boom and with the improvements the government and also the public-private partnerships has been handling, we still see that there's still a need to upskill the greater youth of the Philippines in AI and other emerging technologies. In fact, we also saw this evident in the statistics results of the Philippine youth, where we almost ranked near the bottom globally in science, mathematics, and reading. And that's despite with all the advancements we had in the public and private partnerships. So this AI project is really more of a upskilling initiative and also a information spread as well, because since AI has no guide or no manual to it, we also saw that AI is still ever changing and that there's an opportunity to disseminate good information and quality information about AI as well to the Filipino youth. So the goal is really to empower the Filipino youth with digital skills for sustainable growth and economic opportunity. Okay, so and the connection to the 2G values, mainly it's about the humanistic education, because as I mentioned, since AI has no manual and everyone's a bit on their own when going to AI, and since it's ever changing, where AI today might be different with the AI 6 months from now, we saw that it's important to spread the right information, and it's also important to spread the right way of tackling AI as well. We wanted to help each and everyone, and not to only do minimal tasks, but to also help them in their day-to-day, whether it be navigating the job market, navigating their work, or making life simpler for them. So we want to spread the correct information and to make every information accessible to everyone as well. And for the actions and methods, so we focus on 3 things. So we scoped it with the AI community in the Philippines, partners. We also had engagement with the local Suchi youth scholars to help them understand their needs as well. And we also had regular teamwork meetings with mentors. So to dive deeper, so we also went with the AI communities in the Philippines here, such as AI Filipinas and AI and Tech Manila. Since AI is very new and very foreign, we consulted with the experts as well to know what the values of AI was, how to tackle AI upskilling to the youth as well. And we also went with experts from the Asian Development Bank, such as Mr. Jack Diao and Mr. Ju Tabes, to really give guidance to the project on how AI can transform or even help implement the youth lives to a more better ecosystem. And we also was able to secure a speaker from the Analytics and Artificial Intelligence Association of the Philippines, or AAP, where we modeled our project to strengthen responsible AI innovation for social good. So other than consulting the experts in AI, we also had regular meetings with the Tsuchi IYLP mentors and the local Tsuchi IYLP team. So we're very grateful for that opportunity, and we're very grateful as well for that, for those meetings as well, because they really provided clarity and guidance and also fostered collaboration throughout the IYLP program. And for the presentation proper, so it was a 1-day virtual event where we targeted the local Tsuchi scholars. So local Tsuchi scholars would be the students where the Tsuchi Foundation here in the Philippines are supporting them as well. So we got around 43 to be exact of the Tsuchi scholars. And then we had 2 speakers, one from AAP, which was the organization I mentioned a while ago, and one from Break the Fake movement as well. So they talked about how AI how AI could be navigated in your daily life, how AI can be used as a second brain, and also to talk about how AI could be upskilling in their eventual role when they graduate, and also tackle the job market as well. So for more pictures, it's loading a bit, but so we talked about also how the differences of AI, the nuances of AI, and AI ecosystem in the Philippines. So it was more of like AI 101, and also how to use AI to its ultimate potential, and how to remove or how to diminish hallucinations as well in AI. Okay. And for the outcomes, I give it to my partner, Sid. Over to you.
Hi, good evening. I apologize for not switching on my camera. Internet has been a bit spotty the past few um minutes, so I'll just keep it here. So we did a post survey for after the event, wherein we were able to get about 50% of the attendees. So 20 of the attendees submitted their survey to tell us about their feedback with regards to how they viewed the event and what other improvements can be done and what they learned as well. So overall rating, 70% of those who submitted their responses rated the overall project 5 out of a 5 point scale, while the rest reported around rated it as 4 out of 5. And the general qualitative feedback they provided was about how the sessions were very engaging and was very relevant to the current situation and the burning questions they had about AI and how it affects the workplace, how they can have opportunities, how they can leverage AI to improve opportunities for them in their upcoming work environment. So next slide, please. And then part of the survey, we also asked them to rate in the their experience across 6 factors. So whether the objectives were met, was the trainer effective, how was the delivery, was the content relevant to them, what the usability of the content, and finally, sorry, um, the materials were the materials useful and engaging, and generally they were rated high. So out of a 4 point scale, across the board, more than 50% of the respondents rated it 4 out of a 4 point scale. And some points for improvement we noticed were on the effective instruction or facilitation skills, as well as the materials, accessibility of the materials. However, we noted that certain materials might not be there are improvements in the materials as we go deeper into more in a way personalized topics with regards to industry specific uses of AI or very specific questions the students had about um, AI in their line of work or in their specific area of study. So next slide, please. And so we also identified we also asked them to give us feedback on what topics they found useful, what were their key takeaways. Specifically, their key takeaways was about the importance of humans and human judgment and critical thinking. So still they acknowledge that humans still need to develop critical thinking skills to determine how AI is being used and to, in a way, be the masters or be the ones who control the AI and not let AI control us. And they acknowledge and it really hit home for them the importance of knowing how to use AI safely and how it can be used more as a tool rather than something that they rely on for their day to day. Okay. And based on the results, we were also able to determine certain topics that the students were interested in for possible future talks that Suchi Philippines could organize. Topics like specific to their industry, like somebody requested for what tools can be used for accounting, what are the regulatory bodies doing with regards to accounting principles and how AI is being used and how to govern them. So things like that. There's also something specific about the creative industry, how to ensure that the work that they produce could be would be safe and would be safeguarded from like all of these AI like picking up their artwork and their work and using it for using it to train the models. Okay, sorry. Next slide. Uh, so it's very for the Philippines to for future it's very important for the Philippines to be aware and continue having these conversations to demystify the youth of today from all of these parang grand ideas they have about AI, and especially for the Filipino youth who have very big use electronics and internet usage out of other countries in all over the world. Yeah, so it's to secure it's to demystify these continue these conversations, demystify what the idea of AI is, and to ensure that we all learn and are regulated moving forward. Okay. And I'm turning you back to Harvey
Okay.
for the
And
reflections.
yep, I know we're a bit over time, so I just want to give the next step. So what's next for this? We hope to envision this as a grassroots initiative. So we hope it doesn't stop in a one-day upskilling workshop, because we already had garnered the attention of our potential partners like the Asian Development Bank, or even not mentioned the job platforms like JobStreet and JobsDB. So in addition with our current partners with the local AI communities here, we wanted to host an upskill as well AI, since it's still very new and it's still ever changing. We hope to have, maybe an AI day, an AI week. We want to help spread the influence to AI as well, not only to the Tuchi scholars, but maybe to the Tuchi youth, even to the Tuchi Philippines community, or even the Tuchi worldwide, to really help integrate AI and help AI upskill, and also help AI help AI with the Tuchi's aim of its humanistic education values, and help spearhead that in a AI focused era. So that's it. So that's me and Harvey again, and we come from the Philippines, and we want to say again, thank you so much to everyone. Thank you to the IYLP team. We feel very grateful, Kanon, and have a good evening to everyone. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Group 5, for your presentation. And let's give them a round of applause, everyone. All right. So now let's proceed to our last group for this particular, last group for this particular set. So we're calling on Behind the Plate, the invisible water we eat from the United Kingdom. May call on Wayne and yeah. All right.
Hi everyone, we'd just like to test the microphone. Can you guys hear us properly?
Yes. Loud
Okay.
and clear.
So hi everyone.
Hi, we're the team from the UK. Our project is Behind the Plate, the invisible water we eat.
So before we start our journey, let's unlock 3 points.
My name's Ifan.
Hello, I'm Wing. And our project addresses SDG 6.4 on water use efficiency and connect with SDG 2, 12, and 13. It also reflects the key values of respecting resource, caring for people, and protecting the earth. So let's start our journey. First, we want to invite all of you to take a few seconds to think. When we talk about saving water, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it turn off the tap? Or maybe don't shower too long? But do you know that a lot of water we use is actually behind the food we eat and the thing we buy? And much of that water comes from other countries? This is called invisible water. It is not only an environmental issue, but also a moral one, and this issue is often overlooked. So we wanted to investigate the water usage in the UK and came across some research. According to this study, we realized that 73% of the water footprint in the UK come from agriculture, much higher than household water use, and almost half is imported. This large amount of water consumption has caused issues such as deforestation, land damage, and even conflicts in producing countries. And these crops then come to the UK. Some are used for animal feed, others we get easily in our daily life, and we waste them just as easily. We can see here that every year, 10.7 million tons of food is wasted in the UK, and 60% of it is from households. Most of the food waste depend on imported water for its production. So this method reflects if people could see the story behind their food, would empathy change behavior? We decided to start from home, where most food will happen, and children as our targets, because they are the learners of today and the changers of tomorrow. Then we use three methods. First, we apply the theory of change to outline our goals. In the short term, we aim that children not just learn knowledge and story about invisible water, but especially to develop awareness and empathy, because seldom people bring empathy in these kind of topics. And finally, we want that can be a repeatable model and turn into action. And long term, we want it to become a repeatable model, as I mentioned before, and can be used by any school to teach sustainability in a mindful way. Through our stakeholder map and research planning template, we saw to reach our goal, parents and school are both important partners. So we contacted Tzu Chi Academy London to host our workshop. Before the event, we also sent invitation letter to parents. And now, Ifan will talk about our workshop and future plans.
Hi, everyone. So through our research, we actually arrived at a final version of the workshop, which had 5 parts you can see here. And each part was designed to turn knowledge into empathy. So we started by collecting their initial ideas in the first part about food waste. So to try and see where water fits into their thinking. You can see here some of their creations. And a lot of them mentioned that wasting food means wasting water, but no one mentioned water yet, so it was still invisible to them. And in part 2, we invited them to walk through the journey of food. So here's one of the slides, and we did an interactive slideshow. After visualizing how food reaches our plates, they were starting to see beyond the plate. So if you see here, some of them have drawn natural resources and also saw how many people were involved behind it. And in part 3, we asked them to think if everything they eat is all grown in the UK or not. So some simple ones like they could link tropical fruits to hot countries, but they're surprised to see that animal feed is also food. So animal feed, and that animal feed is actually imported, it's not from the UK. And in the next part, part 4, we not only revealed how much water different food use, but most importantly, how imported water affected other countries. So in the bottom left here, we gave some examples and they see like, why are people fighting over water? For example, in countries like Pakistan and India. And in this moment, the data finally turned into empathy for other countries. At the end, in part 5, we just asked them how their thinking had changed. So here we can see one of the students answering our questionnaire, and their reflections were shifted from wasting is bad to we shouldn't waste water because others don't have enough. So they began linking the food waste with hidden water, farmers' effort, and the fairness between countries. And rather than just focusing on numbers, our goal was to see how children's empathy and awareness grew, to really observe that. And you can see here, some of this gave us 5 stars as well. So we're really happy that they enjoyed and loved learning through the stories and art we had. We drew all of these, such as a character here. And it showed that empathy can be truly nurtured if we have creative education. And after our workshop, we sent some feedback we sent a survey to the school and parents. So their positive feedback gave us good encouragement. Like one parent said their child told them how many liters of water is to grow a mango. They wrote that down to show us. And the head teacher also invited us to host workshops in the future. This shows us we're on the right track. So we're happy to see that. And all right, let's talk about our future vision. We've already explored partnerships with organizations to run more physical workshops in the UK. For example, Barnardo's here, which is a leading children's charity. And at the same time, we're turning Behind the Plate into an open online resource. So like packaging our slides, like the slideshow, these are just some of the slides we had, and on our worksheets and our reflection forms, we'll make it into a workshop in the box so we can further increase our impact. And that means it also allows any teacher or volunteer to run the session, even without us there. So to recap, how we will be tackling the SDGs, we first started with water. We saw that invisible water connects to the living conditions of other countries. So through our project, we are cultivating mindful choices and sustainable habits at home. And then in order, we want to reduce the food waste and water consumption. and eventually to lower food production and food transport emissions, tackling SDG 13. And because of this, we hope to contribute to the SDG target 6.4, which is increasing water use efficiency, so that eventually countries will have enough water to use. And Invisible Water is journeyed really truly towards empathy, to see real action in daily life, and we want to embody Tsuji's values of caring for the heart, from the heart. So this began with 2 people, just us 2, but we really invite you to collaborate with us. So please send an email. We'd love to connect. I'll send this email again in the chat as well. And just to conclude as well, at the end, I feel in this 8 minutes, we really only just shared a glimpse of today. So we invite you to read our full report from this QR code, and it's really been fun. I hope you enjoy our presentation. As I said, all the drawings were original designs by Wing. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ifan. And thank you so much for this pilot group, Group 6. All right, so now that we heard groups 4, 5, and 6, all I can say is amazing. I'm really impressed with the work that these groups have really done for their action and practice project. But we also wanted to hear the comments of the judges for these action AMP projects. So for now, since we wanted to hear more and like a bit of feedback for group 4, 5, and 6, we now call on Amelia from Charleston. Are you here?
Hi,
All right.
Genzo. Yes, I'm here.
Hi,
Thank you
Amelia.
so
You may
much.
now you may now
Thank you.
provide feedback and questions whenever
Thank
you
you.
have for these groups. Thank you.
Thank you so much. First of all, congratulations to all the presenters up till now. You have given it a lot of thought and a lot of hard work into putting your proposals together and for bringing such innovative ideas to life. I would, while I was listening to the 3 groups who were presenting now, I was really struck by how deeply you feel about about the environment, the climate, and how minutely you look for solutions and for gaps where you can be the bridge to mobilize public opinion, to mobilize your community, and to bring everyone together. So my feedback for the project Green City Pockets, it's a really innovative program, and you have cracked an answer to the usual problem of, but we don't have space. Anytime you want to talk about programs where you want to encourage people to use food waste, or you want them to grow their own food, but the reality of our lives is that most of us live in spaces which are really small. You don't have enough space for human beings. And if you want to do something like this, then the time of big gardens and land available to us, unfortunately, is no longer there. But with Gardenator, I think you have a viable solution that can be placed in a balcony, even if you're thinking about just 1 unit per family or 10 units per school. I think it really cracks that answer, and that I found really very, very scalable and something that's really doable. Now, my question would be in terms of the cost. How much does it cost? And what would a scale up look like? And what are your projections for the next 1 year? But I really just want to say that this whole idea about tackling food waste, at the same time growing your own food, I think, and which is organic. I think you also, when you're talking about your project, you really have to talk about the organic stuff, because the composting is happening right there, and that organic compost is the one, and you're using it to grow organic vegetables or fruits or whatever that you're growing. So and people pay extra for organic food, and we are doing the whole process together. So I think that's really amazing. Great work. Now going on to the next group. I think this is the ethical challenge of today's time. how do we engage with AI? And for us in Child Fund, this has been one of our questions that we have been asking ourselves. How do we engage? How do we ensure that the AI that we use is safe and ethical? At the same time, it does not reflect the stereotypes and the challenges that we see in real world. So this kind of conversation is really much needed for young people, and to see how it can be applied, yet at the same time, how do we protect ourselves? How do we become more aware of the ethical challenges so that together we can shape an AI that is good for all, which is inclusive, which welcomes diverse opinions. So great job. Now, again, my question to you is about the numbers and the budget. What kind of a ticket item does it have? How expensive is it? What are your next 1 year projections? How much money would you need? Going to the third group, again, this is something, the cost, the invisible water we eat. When I saw the name, I was really intrigued, and I think you have kind of hit upon a really nice hook to draw people into your idea and suggestion. And this is something we actually don't calculate. I was thinking to myself, I'm from India, I'm speaking to you from New Delhi at the moment, and I did not know that mango takes so much of water to grow. If you had asked me which food takes a lot of water to grow, I would have said it's rice. But mango equally, it does take a lot of water. So that's the cost. Yes, and it grows in areas where right now we are lucky we have a lot of water table, which is fast depleting because we are cutting down our trees. So every time we decide to purchase something, besides the financial cost, I think you made me think about the resource cost as well. And this is a very important consideration that can make a lot of us change our, it can educate us, it can give us a perspective, and compel us, give us enough compelling reasons to change our purchasing behavior. And when we do that, it has effect on economy, and sustainable options get promoted and highlighted. So that's really great. So it would be what I want to ask you behind the plate team is what are your plans to scale it up? And is there any online resource or things like that where, you know, something where we can calculate this invisible cost of water, or the invisible water that goes into producing things? Thank you. Over to you, Kenzo.
Thank you so much, Amelia, for the feedback and the questions for our groups. Really appreciate your feedback for this. So thank you very, very much. All right. So for the teams, since Amelia had a question, do you have any answers? Or anyone from the team who wanted to answer, or you're free to answer?
Yes, I guess I'd like to answer first, since the question was first thrown to me. So I sent the answer as well in the chat. So the direct cost of the coordinator can actually be lowered down to zero, since we can use old pails, and we also use empty plastic bottles for the composter unit. However, for its longevity, we would like to use the large containers that's being disposed by bake shops. They're actually selling that at around 150 to 200 pesos, which is approximately $3 to $4. So, but with the help of our Department of Agriculture, they already agreed to sponsor us with this project. They will be providing us all the materials and tools for our future project implementation in different barangays. So as I mentioned earlier, we already have initial talks with another high school, where we will be also providing them with a workshop and training and 10 gardenator units. And also that would be in January. And then in February, we already have identified a barangay in partnership with their what they call this youth council, or the Sangguniang Kabataan. So they will be helping us in implementing that. There's so far we have 5 communities who reached out to us already, who would like to have this project implemented in their areas. So hopefully I'd be able to tie everything up together, because there were also people who reached out to me for sponsorships. So I still need to make sure that everything is documented and we have a partnership agreement for SDG 17. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering, Jean. Now, to the next group, Harvey's group.
Okay, thank you again, Kenzo, and thank you so much to Amelia for the feedback and the question. So I think for us, for AI and the whole project, since it's very new and it's so ever changing, I think the cost would be mainly about logistics if we do a face-to-face model. So if you can see, the project was mainly done in virtual because we had some logistics constraints as well. So, but hopefully this would be better envisioned in a more face-to-face model, but it would also entail to a bit more cost, which is to venue, to the staff's support, etc. And I think the main cost would really be on how to continue that upskilling project was to provide licenses to paid AI models to the audience. So I researched this now. For example, for the most popular model, ChatGPT, that's around, in Philippine pesos, around 300 pesos per month for their first tier pro pricing. And we envision that as well because as we're using only the free models in AI, we're very limited to the scope and to the potential that we can do. Even me in my day-to-day, I ask maybe 3 questions in ChatGPT and then it already says my time's up because the free models only until there. So so we have that limitation, but hopefully with support, we could also expand that initiative and also help really drive sustainable adoption and usage of AI to the youth or through even to the Tucci communities. And I just want to end, even with the current partners that we partnered with, actually, they're very receptive about it on what's next and the next steps. So hopefully we see this as something that will come into fruition as well. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harvey, for answering the question. Now let's proceed to Wing and Ifan.
Hello, everyone. Regarding the plans to, actually, before we answer the questions, is that okay? I just wanted to say thank you that we had a feedback saying, because what we really wanted to do is make people think, and that's one of the core things in our workshop, like we said, is to make people think and have this empathy for other countries. So thank you, Emilia, to say that it has made you think, and even from a context of another country as well. And like our big point is to really for education to drive the change in this country. I'll move on to the questions really quickly now. So what are our plans to scale this up in the UK? So within the UK, the Tsuji director has, when he saw our workshop in Tsuji London Academy, he spoke to us and with the other trustees in the charity, and we're thinking that they can invite us to other schools in the UK as well. Through their network, and also we could bring this to other city chapters. So we are based in London, but maybe we could bring it to Birmingham, or maybe we could bring it to Manchester, Edinburgh. And after that, I also have my network in the UK, so I do a lot of volunteering with youth networks, for example, Barnardo's, which is a children's charity that I mentioned. And we actually had a meeting 2 days ago sharing this workshop with them. They gave us some feedback as well on how we could improve, how we could grow this. And I would definitely utilize that network because we do have a big group of strong, passionate young people. They can share this resource. And it is really the open online resource that we would like to talk about. So like we said, we're compiling our presentation slides and our worksheets and feedback forms. And if we can make this an open online resource when we do publish it, then people can use it to do their own workshop without us there, like we said. So this would be scalable because people would be able to do it when we are busy. We don't have to be there actively doing it. Of course, we will give support, but that's where we will scale it even further. And not just within the UK. So when we talk about in other countries, for example, we actually did a bilingual workshop. So we do hope to, we have it in Chinese, but if we do have it in other languages, then we do hope other countries can also do this as well. So with the networks that we have, the international people that we talk to, we can share this as well. And it has to be an open online resource. There shouldn't be any barriers to this. That's why.
And when we talk about different language, it is also a reason we want to invite you, all of you, to join our project.
Yeah.
Because we can make it more repeatable and can separate into many countries.
Yeah. And lastly, the question on any online resources where we can calculate the indivisible cost of water. So we actually have the sources when we're doing this research in our full report, but we'll just give you the website here as well in the chat. Wing, could you? Are you screen sharing? Oh, screen sharing, great. Yes, this is one of the sources that we had. So we can see here, you can look at beef, which is one of the foods that we covered. And we like I said, though, we really invite you to read our full report with all the research that we have. Because our presentation is 8 minutes, so we couldn't talk too much about it, but we'd like to cover the impact.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Wing and Ifan, for answering everyone's questions. And again, a round of applause for everyone for group 4, 5, and 6. And thank you so much again, Amelia, for your feedback. Now, let's proceed to our next few presentations, group 7 to 10. All right, so let me call on group 7, STEM Camp from Malaysia. Malaysia, STEM Camp group, you may now proceed. All right.
Hi everyone. I'm just checking if I'm audible.
Audible.
We are not preparing children for our world. We are preparing them for a world that even we can't imagine. If we fail them now, the problems of 2025 becomes their reality. And with that, the Malaysian cohort focused our project on empowering students through humanistic education and STEM learnings. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and the panel of judges. The vision statement and the focus from us, the Malaysian contingent, was to focus on our entire action plan project on STEM learning, to create engagement and make it accessible for all students, while also integrating searchy humanistic education values such as compassion, teamwork, and sustainability in all of our projects. And at the same time, we also focused more on long-term community impact by collaboration with various academies, which will be explained throughout our presentation. Our team consists of the 7 of us, Kirtika, myself, Navish, Wenchi, Shiash, Xuan, Osama, and Alice. Next slide. So in our presentation today, we will be covering these 4 elements, which is the IDD Humanistic Camp that we covered earlier this year in July, the Chumpaka/IDD collaboration, an initiative that we are concurrently running for 8 weeks with Arus Academy on STEM learning, and also at the same time, what is the IDD future plans? Next slide. So before I start off on the IDD initiative, let me just provide you some context as towards who they are. It is a searchy education sponsorship initiative for underprivileged students, and it became in inception in January 2022, at the height of COVID, when education was mainly done online and schools were closed, not just in Malaysia, but throughout the world. And the number of recipients that Searchy reached out to was around 284 students from 7 to 17 years old, or in Malaysia, we call them primary and secondary school students. The type of sponsorship that was done by Searchy throughout this initiative was to provide laptops for online learning during COVID. And at the same time, Searchy got some of their volunteers to conduct maths, English, and Bahasa Malaysia classes for the students, particularly because some of them may not be able to attend schools or maybe a little bit lagged in their education. So these were additional learnings for them that was conducted on a weekly basis. Next slide. So with that, after 3 years of engagement with the students, the Searchy Malaysia organization decided to conduct an IDD humanistic camp, with the main focus on building character and creating global empathetic students. Although we have got 280 over students in the program, 161 of those students showed up for this initiative, and it was a 1 day long initiative where we did several different programs on the 4 SDGs, which was SDG 3, SDG 11, SDG 13, and SDG 14. The main objectives of the entire day's interaction was for character building of the students, SDG awareness, and also to instill some form of teamwork with the students, as there were a lot of interactive group initiations that each student or each groups had to conduct and present at the end of the day. Next slide. So while there were 4 different SDGs that were run concurrently, I want to focus specifically on these 2 SDGs, which is SDG 3 and SDG 13. The main reason why I'm pinpointing this is because of the lack of the time constraint that we have, and at the same time, these 2 initiative was done by our IYLP members, which was myself conducting SDG 3, and SDG 13 was done by Alice. So in regards to SDG 3, what we did was we created an interactive snake and ladder game where just like your average snake and ladder, you roll the dice and you get a number and you move your piece. But each time you move your piece to a block, there will be a question related to SDG 3. So for example, how much of water should you drink in a day? And of course, the correct answer would be 8 glasses of water or 2 liters of water. So then the students will then answer those questions. If they answer it correctly, then they get to move an additional 1 step. If they answer it wrongly, then the facilitators will prompt them with the correct answer and also explain to them a little bit on the science behind those questions. So we had about 60 to 70 questions listed down for the students, and each time they move, then they are prompted with a new set of questions. And of course, the objective of the game was to finish it and reach your 100 mark. In regards to SDG 13, so this session was done by Alice. She did an interactive game where students had to walk from one corner of the hall to another corner while balancing a ping pong ball with a spoon. And they had to walk in a straight line while doing that. And after they reached their destination, if they were successful or if they were not successful, then they were asked questions regarding SDG 13. So environmental related questions, and they were asked to reflect on those questions. For example, what happens when you litter, and how can you recycle, and how can you protect the environment a little bit better? And with that reflection, then we were encouraging the students to sort of understand the importance of protecting the environment and not litter. Next slide. So after we conducted the entire day's session, at around 5 p.m. when the students were leaving, the Sechi mentors actually interviewed a couple of the participants and interviewed a couple of the facilitators, and these were 3 measurable outcomes that we got from that 1 day event, which was high engagement, resilience and reflection, and at the same time positive character shift. So what we noticed from all these 3 points were, given that the students in each of those team activities and each of those interaction, they were all paused and they were all given some form of opportunity to present their thoughts and present their feedback. As you can see from the background here, a group of 5 students laughing and giggling while doing their presentation. Throughout there, we saw all of those high engagement. We saw them being inquisitive and at the same time reflecting as towards what they learned. One example I can give for that was on SDG 14 regarding the saving the ocean. Some of them can actually say that, oh, the learnings I got from today was there's more plastic than fishes in the ocean, and therefore the fishes are quite polluted. So maybe from today onwards, I'll try to reduce my fish intake, or I will also try to reduce disposing plastic, and maybe refusing my plastic intake, because then the fishes in the ocean can be a bit more protected, and maybe if it's quite bad now, maybe I might even contemplate on being vegetarian or not consuming a lot of fish. in our Zoom link now, we've actually shared two links regarding the entire day's event. This was done by the Searchy Media team on a summary on the entire event, and I would encourage you guys to just view it in press of time. I would like to pass my slot now to my teammate Wenqi.
Okay, so hi everyone. So now I'll be talking about the STEM camp that also been running by the same team. And now I'm Wenqi, and now I'll be explaining about the STEM camp. So basically this camp was a collaboration between our team, IDD, and also Chumbaka. So in the beginning of our research, we actually found out that in Malaysia, STEM education is our national priority, and the Malaysia Education Blueprint actually set a 60-40 target for science to art streams enrollment. But unfortunately, we are kind of still behind the target. So many students today are actually losing interest in STEM because they think STEM is kind of boring, it's difficult, and they can't really connect the theory with a real world application. And as a STEM student myself, I actually felt the same way when I first learned subjects like mathematics, biology. I cannot see how this theory can translate into real future career. But as I grew up, the job market actually tells me a different story. There is actually a fast growing demand in STEM skills, especially in areas like robotic, electronic, and coding. These are very high value and high income fields. So, with that objective of preparing the student for the future, we need to show them that STEM is not just theory in textbook. It is actually hands-on learning, creative, and problem solving. So we designed this STEM camp in collaboration with Chumbaka and IDD. So the purpose was very simple, to let the student touch, experience, and discover STEM in real practice. So this initiative also aligns with Tzu value in education because we believe that education should nurture both intellect and character. Therefore, the camp was not only about robotic and coding, but it's also about building the resilience, empathy, helpfulness, and teamwork among the students. So during the planning stage, initially we faced two main challenges. First, the short timeline that we have, and also limited amount of budget. So however, we are actually very fortunate that we found strong support from Chumbaka, who provide us the venue, the trainers, and lunch. The IDD team who help us reach out to participants to their student database, and our team handle the program design, coordination, survey, and facilitation. After gaining all the resources, we're starting the action. So the camp actually used Arduino kit where students build simple electronic project. And after the program, we gather the student feedback to measure the impact that we had. And as you can see from the agenda, it's actually a half-day journey starting from 8:30 a.m. of registration, followed by the workshop, lunch provided by Chumbaka, and the debrief session, which ends around 2:30. So from the camp pre-survey, we understand that many of them have zero coding experience. So the participant progressed from like simple basic programming for LED lights to multi-LED control. And then they started to build a mini music player, and followed by troubleshooting like wiring, codes error, and hardware issue. So we designed the learning process to promote problem solving by students themselves. So whenever the student face any challenges, they are encouraged to check their own work first, then discuss with their peers, and finally, if they're still unable to solve it, they can seek help from a facilitator. This actually taught them to be resilient, communicate with each other, and be collaborative in learning. So at the end of the project, we actually conducted a reflection and survey to measure the impact, and the outcome was very encouraging. Many students reported to improve understanding of electronic and also greater confidence in learning new skills. Some also mentioned that this was their first time coding and they wanted to join a longer program in future. We also observed a very strong teamwork improvement among the students as students help one and another to complete their circuit. So in conclusion, the STEM camp was very successful to show that the STEM is actually not just theory, it's hands-on, practical, and relevant to real world. And moving forward, we really hope we can extend this program to a longer series where we believe that when young people are given chance to experience the real world of STEM, their interest and confidence can also grow. Now I'd like to pass the floor to Shuan.
Yeah, thanks, Wenqi, and hi everyone. I'm Xuan, and I will be talking about the next project of our team.
a STEM innovation program to build future innovators. This is an initiative we executed in collaboration with Arus Academy and held at Kapong Suji Cohort. This presentation will walk you through an 8-week journey that took students from learning basic code to creating tangible, innovative solutions. Next. As part of our program design, we reviewed a 2022 education research study involving over 10,000 students, where 65.6% came from B40 households. Many of these students came from families where parents have only secondary education, meaning limited support for STEM subjects at home. As a result, their attitude towards STEM is only low positive. They find it difficult and abstract. Our program was our direct response to this problem. We aim to provide the hands-on STEM experiences these students lack in school, offer qualified mentorship, build confidence through project-based learning, and most importantly, show them the real-world value and application of STEM skills. Next, please. Our program ran from October to December 2025 with 8 weekly seasons and a final exhibition. It's not a one-off workshop, it's a structured learning journey designed to gradually build digital literacy, problem solving, and teamwork skills for the students. The program kicked off on 11th October with an introduction to coding and design thinking, and will build up to a final showcase of students' innovation prototypes on the 20th of December. Our focus throughout has been on sustained learning and mentorship rather than short-term engagement. Next. The program's teaching method combines hands-on learning, design thinking, and capacity building. Students learn by doing, applying coding, prototyping, and testing in real-world contexts. Design thinking helps them empathize, ideate, and build solutions that solve local problems. A unique aspect of our program was the peer training model. We didn't just teach students, we trained selected participants to become peer trainers themselves. This creates a sustainable pipeline of local STEM mentors, ensuring the program's impact continues long after we left. Next. Our program was strategically aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, allowing us to contribute to global agendas on a local scale. For SDG 4, quality education, target 4.4, to increase the number of youth with relevant skills for employment, decent jobs, and entrepreneurship. Our indicator was the confirmed learning of new skills like algorithms and coding in just the first season, directly enhancing their technical literacy. For SDG 9, particularly target 9.5, to enhance scientific research and encourage innovation, we introduced design thinking to nurture creativity and innovation, culminating in functional prototypes developed by students at the end. And for SDG 5, gender equality, target 5.5, which ensures women's full and effective participation and equal opportunities for leadership at all levels of decision making. We set an explicit program objective to achieve at least 50% female participation, actively advancing gender equity in the STEM field. Next. In the feedback gathered from our post-season survey, we find that the results were quite encouraging and good. 85% of participants reported improved understanding of STEM concepts, and 90% said that they enjoyed the seasons. And next, overall ratings for, And overall ratings for instruction and engagement were between 8 to 9 out of 10 across all criteria. This data shows our project successfully made STEM more approachable and enjoyable, well, at least to them. Next. Our total funding was 44,000 ringgit, USD 10,000 under Google's Education and Innovation Support Initiative. About 70% of the total budget went directly into program delivery. This includes trainers, learning kits and resources, the final exhibition, and so on. This reflects our commitment to maximize impact on the ground. The remaining funds covered operational sustainability, such as Arus's profit margin, and statutory requirements like referring to the SST in this case. Next. Our project's success depended on a strong partnership ecosystem. Arus Academy served as a program designer and main instructor team responsible for module delivery. Google provided the financial support. And our IYLP Malaysia team handled program planning, communication, logistics, and post-event reporting, working closely with Suji, who offered the venue, student access, and local coordination. This collaboration not only strengthened our project management skills, but also showed how youth teams can drive meaningful partnerships. And that's the end of my part. Next. Thank you. I shall now hand it over to Kathy.
Okay, hi, my name is Kitika Tanabalin. So today I'll be explaining about the last slide for summing up our future IDD future plans for 2026. So next year we plan to continue the impact in a sustainable way by, instead of adding more science content, our plan is to integrate SDG and values-based learning into subjects on where students are already currently studying. So this also helps them to see what they can learn on concept on real community needs and also global issues. For looking forward on to industrial learning, we also secure a tower tour in Bukit Raja with an elevator engineering company where students can observe real infrastructure and city planning. This is currently with discussion with Zuchi Entrepreneurs team. And also similar goes with Cal Maker Club, which in other words, I would say Aros Academy, in collaboration with them, where we will form a peer mentoring circle session for the students can continue supporting and learning from each other. So in short, I would say our aim is simple, very simple, is to sustain growth and strengthen our values and keep on the learning going. So yes, that's all from us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Team STEM Camp from Malaysia. Can we give them a round of applause? Oh, wait, is your team done? Yeah? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for confirming, and thank you so much, everyone. Now, let's proceed to our next group, which is STEM Innovation Program, Building Future Innovators. May we call on that group? May I ask if the group is here? Kindly acknowledge. Okay. Oh, let's proceed to the next group, also from Malaysia, which is solar powered and automated irrigation for sustainable farming at Green Edu Farm from Malaysia. So I'm calling on this group. And the acknowledge is you are here.
Yes, we are here.
Jackson, Jackson and Zakaria.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. So imagine a farmer who walks to the field twice every day under the hot sun and again before dusk, just to turn on and off the water pumps. So it takes also time and as well as effort. And this is a waste of electricity, and it still doesn't guarantee that the crops get the right amount of water. So now imagine if that the same system could water itself automatically, powered entirely by the energy of the sun, which is a clean energy. So this is the vision behind solar power and automated irrigation for sustainable farming. My name is Zakaria Seijom, and together with my teammate Jackson, we are presenting our AP. This is under the Malacca team, and with the guidance of our mentor, which is Miss Rachel Lee. So our project is just based at the Green Age Farm and is located at Malacca. So before to go on our project, I would like just to present to you what is exactly Green Age Farm. So Green Age Farm is a small organic learning farm established to educate the community about sustainable agriculture and eco-friendly living. So the farm is run by volunteers and also it serves as an educational site where students and visitors can come and learn about composting, planting, and also environmental protection. So during our visit, we identified a major challenge. So the irrigation system was completely manual, which means the caretaker had to spend like 3 to 4 hours every day operating the water pump by hand. This is not only a lot of effort, but also consume around 70 to 100 Malaysian ringgit per month for the electricity bill. So we got the electricity bill from the manager, and this is quite costly for a small educational farm. So moreover, the manual process often also causes uneven watering. It could also lead to wasted water and inconsistent crop growth. So this is where our problem statement comes. How might we reduce labor, water waste, and electricity consumption in a small-scale farming by creating an affordable and sustainable irrigation solution? So to address this, we propose a solar-powered and automated irrigation system. The system uses solar panels to reduce renewable energy and also a timer controller to automatically regulate the water flow. This helps to ensure that the crops receive the right amount of water and at the right time. And this could lead to efficiently, sustainably, and without daily manual work. So this is the aim of our project. So this project is also aligned with 2 key United Nations sustainable goals. And the first one is affordable and clean energy, because we use solar energy instead of electricity. And the second SDG is the SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production, because we promote efficient resource use. So through this initiative, Green Energy Farm can serve as a living example of innovation and as well as environmental awareness. So at the same time, our project reflects the core values of the Chuzushi, because we believe that in coexisting with the earth, reviving and repurposing land for organic farming, and by also using natural fertilizer, we can reduce the carbon footprint. Even the materials we use for our setup were repurposed, staying true to the Chuzushi philosophy of mindful sustainability. Above all, this initiative embodies Chuzushi's spirit of great love without borders, where compassion, technology, and sustainability come together to protect both the people and our planet. In short, our solar panel and automated irrigation project is more than just a technical innovation, because it's a practical step forward, empowering local farmers, reducing energy costs, and promoting sustainable agriculture. Thank you so much for your attention. This is all from me. I will leave my teammate to continue with you with the rest of our presentation.
Good evening, everyone. Did everyone hear my voice? Hello, everyone. Is it everyone hear my voice?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. So for our in this project, our execution method is for the data, and in this project we do have one of the execution method. There are 3 points. So the first one is the data and information collection on site. Study and design the solar power and automated irrigation for the farm. And also the third point is the implementation and the budget of the projects. So for the first point, we do data and information collection from the site, where I go for the site to familiar the environment surrounding of the green farm, and also understand the operations of the irrigation system, the traditional irrigation farm system, and also review with the fellow senior and then the PIC of the person in charge and there to review and to get to know how was the power usage and also the power usage of the electrical components. So, and the next time I will do a study and also design a solar power automated irrigation system as using the draft illustration block diagrams, and also do some simple calculations and review some of the calculation from the website, and also the professional calculations to use it to calculate the amount of energy to use for the system. So after this, we do all the research and also the resourcing for the electrical component as this out. And lastly, we do liaise with a supplier and also a profession for a further advice. So, and the last point is we do implementation for the budget of the projects. So our target of the expected outcome for this project is to reduce the cost of energy and the amount of carbon emissions, and reduce the workload of the PSC, person in charge of the integrity fund, where they don't need to come on the morning and use 2 hours to do on the farm to do the irrigation farming system to do the irrigation, and also in the evening come to site again and also do the same step. So they also do this activity repeatedly every daily. So in order to create this project come up, so it will go through by automated. So it will reduce the load of PSC to go into site to like do the manually to control the system. So, and the last point is to achieving the goals of the SDG 7 and also the SDG 12. So these are the timeline for the overall project from the starting meeting and reach with until the today's session about the today's session presentations. So for the current progress is our current progress is the planning of the design stage. So, and also the process of estimating costs, source component and system layout planning. And lastly is lies with the seniors and brothers to confirm how was the budget released. So before for this project, the challenges is weather dependency, where currently our Malaysia overall the sun's light hours which only reach maximum. So not sometimes it's not quite good. So if you affect the system to charge back the batteries. So, and the second point is the technical preparation and maintenance. After we build and carry out this project, so the PIC also worry about how was the maintenance after the sales service, who will be the vendor to create a solution for this, and the budget constraint, data accuracy, and the monitoring. And the last one is the period of the collection data. So for this, of the period of collection data is you want to have the time to collect data, maybe around the 6 months to show how was this project is bring this more efficiencies. So before I end this slide or presentations, so I have one of the point is we got lies with the external profession where we have corporate where we have communicate with one of the person from the vendor solar, where is solar provider company. So, and they say they make this as their CSR projects for this in this green engineering farm. So that's all for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Team Malaysia, for all the presentations. So just a clarification, STEM Camp and STEM Innovation Camp was actually a 2-in-1 project earlier, and this is a different project. Solar project, thank you so much. And now let's proceed to our next group, which will be coming from Singapore. May I call on Group Seeds of Tomorrow from Singapore. Great.
Hello.
Is anyone
Thanks
here
for
from
stopping me in at the
All right.
last minute. Yeah. Yes, this
All right.
is
You can all right, you can now present. Good luck.
Can you see my? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, wait. What's
Yes,
happening?
yes, we can see your screen clearly.
Okay, can. Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Dorcas. I
Oh,
actually have another
perfect.
teammate. Yes, Dorcas.
I think it says audience window from our part.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me share screen. Okay. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh no, technical problems. Okay, let me. Okay, maybe I'll just share from here directly. Yeah.
Yes, it's clear now.
Okay, Ken. Yes. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Dorcas, and actually I have a teammate with me also. Her name is Anne, but she's not within the program. So I'll be presenting on behalf of both of us. So our project is called Seeds of Tomorrow, and actually, both Anne and I, we are two artists from Singapore who have a shared love for community murals and storytelling. So this is some of our projects from over the years. So over the years, we've worked with seniors, kids, the community, and we worked on a variety of topics such as, biodiversity, community health, and climate action stories, and so on. So actually, when we teamed together to come up with a project, we thought, what is relevant for people to have today. So when we were thinking about this project, we were thinking about how the time that we're living in is actually very, very uncertain. Like a lot of systems that have been supporting us in the past no longer really fit and support sustainability, but we haven't exactly gone into a new future yet. And social media and doom scrolling definitely don't help at all. So we were thinking, how can the future look like? And how can us as artists, kind of help the people visualize what this future can be, and also help to keep that vision alive and to help people have more hope. So for our proposed solution, we want to have a series of murals and artworks that will capture the community's reimagination of what it means to care for ourselves, each other, and also the planet. So these are some benefits of community art. It enhances social cohesion, contributes to healthy communities, increases community ownership, and promotes self-expression. So it's not just your traditional artwork where it's just the artist doing all of the work, but this is really a combination of what the community wants to express. And so our key objectives of this project is really to educate people very broadly on the 17 SDGs. We also want to engage a wide range of stakeholders to contribute ideas to the murals. We want to have 3 murals and then also different standees that are located around Tzu Humanistic Youth Center that will educate people about the SDGs. And the expected outcomes is we really want people to bond across different backgrounds. And also, of course, we want the murals and the 17 SDG standees to be out. So for our mural locations, we've identified 3 places in City Humanistic Youth Center. So for our self-care mural, we're going to have it within the building. It's in front of a play therapy area, so we thought it was quite apt. And then we're going to have one a little bit outside of the building for community care. And then we're going to have one that's right next to the community garden for a mural that captures earth care and environmental sustainability. And for our little cutouts that are going to be scattered across the center, it's going to be something like this. So some cute characters and then like a short blurb about what each SDG mean. Yeah. And throughout our project, we really want to have this idea of dandelions as a symbol, because we think it's quite apt and also captures the spirit of Tzu Chi. This idea that you can have small actions of kindness and care, but actually they have large ripples out across the community and into the future. These are just some sketches that I have for the SDG seeds as well. Yeah. And so for our project, we really have 4 main phases. So we have our co-creation workshop, so where we will invite people in to get their ideas on what self-care, community care, earth care means to them. We will gather all these ideas in phase 2. And then phase 3, we will have 3 concepts, and then we will allow the community to vote on which concept they want best. And then phase 4 is when we gather the community together to paint, the final murals. So for the workshops, we have 3 co-creation workshops at the community, and they're about 2 hours each, about 25 to 30 people. And we're hoping to target people who have backgrounds in self-care, community care, earth care, but really we're open to anyone who want to come in and speak and share. And this is, like a little breakdown of our project workshop. And we've also secured 3 speakers. So the first is Chloe, who is a forest therapist, who's going to come in for self-care. And then we also have Anne, who actually does a lot of community work on her own. And the third is Li Kiang, who founded an environmental education company. Yeah. So for gathering ideas, we're just going to be looking at the different doodles and the different answers that we get from the community. And we're going to combine all of them and have 3 concepts before we get the community to vote on which concept they like the best. And then for community painting, we are going to come in to, kind of sketch up the design and to just get people to come in and help to paint. Yeah, and we're aiming to have at least 3 sessions, 3 hours each. Yeah. And so for the impact assessment for the entire project, we want to have a short survey after each co-creation workshop where the participants can, kind of feel more, reflect on what kind of future actions they want to take after the workshop, to do with the respective themes of the different workshops. We want to have at least 25 for each workshop, minimum 15 for each painting session, and 2 hours each for the workshop, 3 hours each for painting. Yeah, and this is our rough timeline, a lot of words, but basically we are at the stage where we're going into publicity, and we've already confirmed the locations and workshop dates. Yeah. And in terms of which SDGs this project touches on, we're really looking at sustainable cities and communities for this one. And some additional SDGs would be number 3 and number 17. Yeah, so just wanted to end off the entire presentation with a short quote, which is that imagination isn't just about daydreaming. It's really about laying the blueprint for the next generation. It is how we keep the hope alive over and over again. Yeah, so thank you so much. Yeah, that's the presentation. Yay!
Thank you so much, Marcus from Singapore Seeds. Thank you so much, Beef Seeds, and all good. So thank you so much, Dorcas. Now, we're actually on our last group. So is the last group ready? I hope everyone is still here. I hope everyone is still listening. Thank you so much for staying in this group, especially in this video call. I hope everyone's having a great time. And now we're gonna call on our last group, which is group 11, Stories of Indigenous Ilan, Indigenous Vision for Sustainable Communities. You may now present and you may now open your slides.
Hello. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick.
Okay.
All right, can everyone see my screen?
All right, yes, clear.
All right, perfect. Thanks for everyone for staying this late. Appreciate everyone's time. My name is Daniel, and I'll be sharing a little bit about Indigenous visions for sustainable communities. So this work kind of began wanting to understand Indigenous communities and wanting to know kind of how best to support them in the work that they're already doing now. And so ultimately, right, the SDG that we wanted to focus on was Sustainable Cities and Communities, SDG 11. Just to set the stage, right, for Indigenous communities in the area that I am here, most of the youth are not connected with their mother tongue. They are not able to kind of communicate fluently anymore. This is due to a lot of urbanization where they actually leave their communities in the more mountainous regions and they attend school and in mostly Chinese. And ultimately, there's a lot of other challenges like high levels of unemployment, not as much access compared to the average, 50% college matriculation versus 90%. And so this is, I would say, a very important kind of background in order to understand Indigenous communities. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to raise awareness of how Indigenous communities who have stewarded this land for thousands of years continue to do so. Yet, you know, even though they're only 2% of the population today, I think there's a lot of wealth of knowledge that they have to offer. And so ultimately, right, the goal was to share Indigenous knowledge, culture, and innovation in order to promote sustainable Indigenous communities. And so essentially what we did was we hosted a one-day forum, collaborating with City Foundation. We were able to have a wonderful building, wonderful event space at Yilan Jingsi Hall. And we kind of scheduled it with a keynote presentation, film screenings, Q&A, and also a walking tour of a local Indigenous cultural park, actually. So through this activity, right, both with, you know, dialogue, hearing from Indigenous educators, filmmakers, teachers, wanting to know a little bit more about kind of how they're trying to preserve and build up their communities themselves. And so, you know, ultimately, I think this was an event that we wanted to emphasize, right? What does it mean when we begin to listen first? I think with a lot of helping, I guess, organizations, NGOs, even government, right? Ultimately, whenever we help, right, we have more authority, we have more power, essentially. And so what we wanted to do through this event was to highlight the Indigenous voices and community work that they're already doing in the area. So our first speaker created a short film, actually, and they shared a little bit about kind of how they're trying to reclaim their Indigenous identity and overcome a lot of discrimination and stereotypes currently in society. Our next few speakers, right, they all really wanted to focus on a few themes that I think are really pertinent to what it means to build a community, such as land justice, right? Without land, Indigenous communities, right, are divorced from their homelands, right, their ancestral territory. When it comes to language, right, if they lose their language, they're losing a part of themselves. And a lot of the elders, right, they're the ones who pass down the knowledge. And because the language is not written, there's no script. It's very hard to pass down. And so, you know, language justice, I think, is really integral also to preserving community. And lastly, thinking forward too, right? It's about entrepreneurship with Indigenous kind of craftspeople, right? Being able to pass down their cultural, traditional, either like the way that they weave, right? Or different forms of kind of culture. That's really important in needing to pass down. So ultimately, these speakers, right, hearing from them and their expertise, I think, was the main point. And so about 30 or so participants attended, ranging from young children, 10 years old, to elderly folks. And also we had an international attendee from the Philippines. And ultimately, you know, I think after conducting a post-event survey, a lot of the attendees kind of emphasized that they learned a lot about supporting Indigenous communities, and learning more about who and what they are doing in the local area. Some challenges I think we wanted to address too were resisting the stereotypes about Indigenous peoples, right? Where there's a connection that of Indigenous peoples to kind of alcoholism, right? And this is a very harmful stereotype. And so the lesson kind of I'm trying to emphasize here too through this event was the importance of listening to and working with Indigenous communities. You might have good intentions, but ultimately sometimes the impact, right, might lead to harm instead. And so I wanted to kind of just include a few quotes from the participants, right? Ultimately, learning about how Indigenous culture, right, are continue to preserve themselves. Looking forward, I would say the importance of, right, being mindful when you work with a, I guess, minority community is the importance of first understanding, right, listening first. And I think because Indigenous languages in all over the world, right, over 7,000 languages in the world, most are oral, right, and they're not able to be used in the digital sphere. So I think this is also something that we have to think about in terms of what kind of future do you want to build, right? Is it a future that includes Indigenous peoples, right, who have stewarded this land for thousands of years, or is it, going to be taken away by the more dominant languages such as English or Chinese, etc. So I think, this ultimately was a project that I want to continue doing, right? And leading other communities to also understand, okay, what does it mean to respect and the Indigenous peoples where you are currently located. So ultimately, I want to continue doing this work. We're right now working with a farming co-op, Indigenous farming co-op, to bring back youth to the community because they're moving to big cities now. And so ultimately, we want to give them an incentive to return back to their homelands, to give back and to rebuild and to reconnect and revitalize their culture. So thank you for your time. I appreciate everyone for listening. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for the final presentation, Danielle from Taiwan. Thank you, and thank you so much, everyone, for staying here, even though it's a bit late. Thank you so much, and yeah, let's now proceed to our judges who will give some feedback regarding groups 7 to. So let's now call on Mr. Christian first for the first feedback.
Thank you. So this goes to, I think, for EcoSpark and STEM Innovation Program. I was really happy to see STEM brought in the conversation because I think, STEM is very important. I always encourage people to study in STEM fields in regards to sustainable development. So while I myself have almost no competency in STEM fields, I really value STEM in terms of its application to sustainable development. So if you look closely, for example, at SDG 17, this is what we call the means of implementation, right? A very essential sustainable development goal. Within SDG 17, you'll find like various components of science, technology, and innovation, which are absolutely crucial for sustainable development. And I would say in many contexts are like the only factors that can really, chart us towards a more sustainable course, given consumption patterns and population at play. So yeah, that was really happy to see that STEM brought into the conversation. But in regards to EcoSpark specifically, I also liked how they not just talked about STEM, but also talked about like empathy and brought the kind of human element into it as well, because it's not only about science, technology, innovation and things of that nature, but it's about blending, STEM and humanities. And also, of course, I really like to see the SDGs education was brought into EcoSpark's work because, awareness of sustainable development goals is quite lacking in general. It's, it improves, of course, year by year, but it's still a major challenge to the SDGs is that lack of awareness. So SDG education is obviously very important. And sadly, in some contexts, even being aware of the SDGs still puts you in a minority of people. So I'm very happy, to see that SDG education brought into it. And then, for STEM innovation program, I also really liked the emphasis on long-term engagement. I think that's super important. So it's not always about short-term engagement or a short-term project or a one-off event, but really how do we do this for the long haul? Because learning is a long process. So I really liked that emphasis on long-term engagement. And the pedagogical approach I think they were using was also very interesting. And so for the solar power and green edu farm team, I also really liked the educational component to it. I also like the linkage to SDG 12. I think SDG 12 is one of those very undervalued SDGs in sometimes. Because it's not so specific like energy or water, it's sometimes left out of the conversation, but a super, super important SDG. So I was happy to see that not just in this presentation, but with other presentations as well. Sustainable consumption and production in SDG 12. And of course, I liked also the link, to the solar and automatics. I mean, I've seen in solar powered pumping systems being applied in many different countries across the Asia Pacific, and I've seen automatic irrigation systems, but I don't always see that link between an automatic irrigation system and a solar powered irrigation system. So I thought that was quite innovative and interesting. And then for the team Seeds of Tomorrow, I also thought that was a nice break from the kind of STEM heavy presentations of the previous ones. And I really thought they articulated well the importance of artwork in terms of community building, education, democracy, things of that nature. So I thought that was really nice, a very diverse range of presentations covering many different things. So great job to all the teams. Also, I really liked the last presentation, bringing light to the indigenous communities. So again, great spread and really great presentations, super inspiring work. So continue the great work.
All right. Thank you so much, Christian, for the feedback for our final set of groups. And now let's proceed to our next judge who will also provide us a feedback. So may I call on Mr. Kelvin Tan to give us a group of feedback for the final set.
Yeah, thank you, team. My feedback on the STEM camp is really a commendable initiative that effectively bridges the gap between theoretical education and practical STEM exposure for children. The team demonstrated strong alignment with SDG goals, delivering a well-structured, impactful program that fosters both technical skill and humanistic growth. We are already seeing a tangible outcome. The statistics shared, such as 92% improvement in electronics understanding and 100% exposure to mobile app development, demonstrated a measurable impact. The increase in confidence and curiosity is especially encouraging. Okay? This project is a shining example of how hands-on, student-centered learning can reignite interest in STEM and foster value-driven education. Well done. On STEM innovation program, this is a thoughtfully designed and well-executed initiative that demonstrated strong commitment empowering youth through digital literacy and innovation. The positive impact that we see is the highest satisfaction score across learning, enjoyment, and instructor delivery indicates strong engagement and effective pedagogy. The early mastery of foundational concepts set a solid basic for future session. Okay. On solar power, this project is commendable, blend of technical ingenuity, environmental stewardship, and educational outreach. It starts as a promising example on how clean energy and smart automation can transform traditional agriculture into a more sustainable and compassionate practice. Since I am Malacca, I look forward to seeing its implementation next year and the ripple effect that it may inspire across other rural community. On the Seeds of Tomorrow, this project is timely and essential. The innovation and foresight are commendable. Keep planting ideas. Your seeds will grow into solutions for global challenges. You are cultivating hope for generations to come. And for the engineer's vision, celebrating engineers' wisdom is powerful. Your project bridges traditional and modern sustainability beautifully. Okay, Keep amplifying these voices. Your work honors heritage while shaping the future. You are reminding us that sustainability starts from respecting the culture. Yeah, that's all for my feedback. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Calvin, for the feedback for our final group. And now let us hear from our very own Wei for the feedback.
Thank you so much, Kenzo, for hosting. It's not easy to keep up to this time and stay fresh. And also thank you everyone for your presentation. I'm really grateful to see how IYLP has progressed and also participate in this journey with you. So for the Malaysian team, both STEM Camp and the STEM Innovation Program, I find this is very wholesome and very inclusive. It is exactly what our country is looking for. But I'm not too sure about the challenges that you might face in the future. For example, if you were to continue the program, how is it possible to make it a more in-house program for Tzu Chi, not only in Kepong branch, but how are we going to spread it across so that it can be shared? And we can also work hand in hand with the government bodies to see how we can play a part as a citizen. And also, I recognize some of you are even international students in this. So I really thank you for your effort. And then for solar power and the Green Edu Farm program in Malacca, Zakaria and Jackson, this is also a big heart or a big passion that you have. I recognize that this is a continuation of last year IYLP. So I'm not too sure exactly how much time you will have even after the solar panel installations and also the communications that you might have later on, especially in coordinating with the local volunteers. As far as I'm aware, the time that you need, there could be a lot of back and forth and you need to be on site. So in that situation, what is your capacity in sustaining this plan? Then the third one is Seeds of Tomorrow for Dorcas. I really love your spirits. Your program or your idea reminds me of a program that I've once attended in India. It's called Arts for Change. It might look very subtle, but the impact is very lasting. So apart from HYC, is there any other locations that you hope via Tzu Chi Singapore or via HYC we could help you connect so that you can reach out to more? Because in my mind, I'm not too sure. Having 3 more murals in HYC, does it help you to amplify the impact? Or spreading it across to 3 more locations, maybe across Singapore, and who knows, even you want to cross the bridge to Malaysia, that could be possible too. So have a think about how you would love to leverage the existing network that we have to help you replicate your work or amplify your work. And Daniel, Indigenous Vision, we did not receive your report, so I'm not able to read it through beforehand, but through your presentation, I love the idea of being inclusive, and also Indigenous people are always the one that comes with the nature-based solutions, and they know the best about climate actions as well. So with that, I'm very curious about what is your plan in the upcoming potential collaborations with them, and how are you going to introduce them to Tzu Chi in a more intimate manner so that we can really work together, not just one time, but in the long run. That is all from me. Thank you so much. Over to you, Kenzo, for the rest.
All right, thank you so much, Wei, and thank you so much for all the judges who made comments for this particular set of groups. So thank you so much again. Now, let me call on these judges as well. We can have like general feedback and some bit of Q&A, and also maybe like feedback for the second group particularly. So may I call on first Rick Alindayu for the feedback on the second set of group. Hi, Rick.
Yes, hi Kenzo. Hi everyone. Good evening. I'm just gonna quickly turn on my camera, but since my internet's not that good, I'm gonna turn it off again. So yeah, congratulations to everyone for presenting your projects. I think the effort has really paid off and brought relevant topics to the center stage through your A and Bs. So I won't take too much of your time. But yeah, overall, it was a very inspiring session. that focused on your advocacy, such as AI, environmental protection, and water conservation. And I also deeply appreciated how the SDGs and Tucci's values were really aligned with your work and showing how it contributes to a larger, like a larger context, a larger target. But going back to the fourth, fifth, and sixth groups. So first with green pockets. So I think it was great that there was a strong use of data in the planning of the project, and also recognizing that majority of the waste in the Philippines is actually from biodegradables, which is 50% or around more or less 50%. So composting is really important in reducing greenhouse gases. I also greatly appreciated how you're using existing technology. It was also interesting to see a composter that plants vegetables at the same time. So I think that was also pretty innovative. And also quite impressed to see like legal documentation, like a memorandum of understanding, and really ensuring that the sustainability of the project is going to go beyond the turnover. So that would be for green pockets. For what time is it? It's AI time. Relevant topic now, with a very good target group, especially that AI is really growing in use. Even I use AI for work, and it's made my work a lot easier than before, but also making sure that how we can not abuse AI as a tool. And it's clear that the initiative was grounded like in a very deep understanding of the digital literacy and AI readiness gap among the Filipino youth. Also great that you guys consulted with reputable experts in the field like AAP. And it also seems like the feedback is very strong, ranging from 4 to 5. And the talk was also engaging and informative. So congratulations on that. And last, for the invisible water we eat, it did talk about the topic that we don't usually notice when it comes to water conservation. And it shows how water resources are strained by the food that we eat. The project was also backed by solid research, and also identified empathy as a driving force for behavioral change to make ourselves more mindful about our consumer choices. But um, actually, I was quite concerned that you were targeting kids because, the topic was actually quite heavy and technical. But I was pleasantly surprised, at least through the feedback as well, that I think it went really good. I tried scanning the QR code a while ago, but it was set to private. So maybe if you can make it unprivate so that we can read up more on it. Yeah, and I think that would be all. Thank you very much, and congratulations, everyone.
Thank you so much, Rick, for your comments, and really appreciate it. So judges, for before I call on front for the judges for this particular group set of groups, do you have any questions for the group, or any questions? All right, no questions.
Good question.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, go ahead. Christian has a question. Okay.
Oh, I saw Hui put her hand up first, actually.
After you is fine.
Okay. I just wanted to ask the solar power / green edu farm team how their innovation is specifically, sorry, if their innovation is also addressing water efficiency. So I think they touched upon that a little bit, but I was also curious, in addition to, the green energy and some of the social benefits of the project, does it also enhance water efficiency in agriculture?
Hello, Christian. So is it talk about overall the efficiency for the usage of the water?
Yeah, exactly. Efficiency of the water usage.
Yeah, actually the overall system is like this. Actually, we plan to do is for example, I took one example for one session. So actually for the irrigation system, actually doing twice a day. So one is the morning session, and another one is the evening session. So for each session is doing the irrigations 2 hours, around 2 hours. So during this system, we are using two pumps. One is the incoming, another one is for output. So for incoming is using around pump the water to the tank around 15 minutes. And for the irrigation system, output pump is pump around like 2 hours, and one also maybe around 2 or 1.5 hours to irrigation the farming system. So actually the overall system is like fully automated. So in this system, we will put one of the timer to set during the morning session. So the motor will do the operation automatically. So without the PIC to overview the system, just only the monitor will provide of the alarm. Will maybe, for example, the kilowatt inverter will have the apps. So you do have installed the app in the phone. So it will, when the inverter has fault or alarms, it will send to the phone to user to view where or when we need to take attention to do the like maintenance, and also calling for the maintenance to repair or upgrade the system. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we have Wei. Do you have a question?
I'm not too sure if
Wei?
it will be a question or is a feedback, but specifically for the Green Pocket project, I really salute how you could do this even alone, because I recognize before we even recruited you into IYLP, we already know that you do not have direct access to Manila or even to the Tzu campus, but you still managed to pull this through and even recruited members to help you out with your program. Looking into the very straightforward, the budgets and also the outcome, the output of your plan, I see this is very much replicable, but I hope even after this IYLP, we will still be able to engage with you, and then we can replicate this plan, not only just in Butuan, but also other parts of Tzu Philippines or even other places in Asia Pacific region. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Wei, for the feedback. All right, now let's call on our the final judge who will give us the feedback for tonight. May I call on Doc Anton Lin? All right.
Hey,
Can you give
hello,
us
good evening,
Hello,
everyone.
Doc Anton. Good
Yeah,
evening.
good evening. Yeah, I was very inspired. Like, I have to make a confession early on. Like, I was worried on how our future looks like, with all the problems that we are facing right now. But after hearing the presentation of all the participants, it gave me so much hope that how much they're connected to the ground and how much they're connected to their communities. It's very refreshing to see that the youth are not making projects on the 25th floor, but actually going down to the basement and work with the community to find out what is really needed and what needs to be done. And and the projects are, some are very simple, some are very advanced. So you can see that they're really in touch with what's happening. Particularly, I'm very excited because I know several projects of kids who farm. So I'm very happy that Pocket Green is working on this, because it really works. And for people not just in schools but also in urban areas, like if you're living in a condominium, you can grow your own food, you can answer the waste problem, you can do composting and right in your own place, and that's very exciting. And I'm excited on how this project can be bridged across not just Asia Pacific but all over, because this problem is food security and what to do with all the food waste is really a problem wherever you are. Then, from a simple solution, we have learned that some youth groups working on what time is it? They're working on AI and making sure that it's being used in a good way and making sure that the younger generation can really benefit from it. I'm very excited about UK's project Behind the Plate because normally we're so used to seeing nutrition facts, expiry dates. I mean, before this became normal practice, somebody advocated for this, and now we're seeing the behind the plate of the invisible water. You know, all the common things that we're consuming. We're actually we don't know how much water all these are consuming for the planet, and if they can put out information for everyone to see, probably it can change or it can start a conversation with a fresh set of eyes, and it can change the way we consume and purchase these products. And I think this can be shared all over, and this can, for the future generation to really take ownership and find a solution on what food to consume and what food to mass produce. Of course, we have the STEM is really important if we are to survive the problems of the upcoming generation. The STEM education is really very, very important, and I'm happy that a youth group is working on this. And of course, the solar-powered automated irrigation is really something that we know will help the environment and at the same time assure a sustainable farming. So seeds of tomorrow. Art is very important, and I'm like one of the mentor. I hope that we can see this in public areas, probably in the subways, train stations of Singapore, or probably Malaysia, even in the Philippines or all over. Because for the youth, this is what will connect. For the youth, what is Instagrammable calls for a second look. And all of these are important to spread information, especially special information, and the just to show how inclusive this group. They even have a project with indigenous people, which I feel that we often neglect. But the solutions to a lot of our problem, they hold the key to all of this. So if we go back, step backwards, and learn how they do things and why they do things, we'll be able to learn a lot. So my kudos to the organizers and the mentors for coming such this bunch of projects, and I'm very, very excited on how all of this can move forward and really make an impact, and can inspire more projects like this all over. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anton, for the feedback. It was really inspiring. Those words were really inspiring. I can really feel like I was really touched with your words, and I'm just grateful. I just wanted to take this opportunity also to thank you all for coming, and also Doc Anton. Doc Anton is one of the Filipino leaders that I really look up to. His organization, Yellow Boat, it's really amazing. It's really well known. And yeah, amazing work for everyone. Thank you so much. Um, I can see Miss Law from Tucci Malacca here. Do you want to say some words? Um, but if not, okay.
I think you're referring to CEO Lo from Malacca.
Yeah, CEO Law from she's here. Yeah, do you have any words or any comments? But yeah, thank you so much for coming here also. The Law for coming, and to everyone that who came here tonight, thank you so much. And Are there any more feedback, questions, or anything? All good? Okay. So again, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank everyone who presented tonight. Morning or night, I don't know what time is it in your countries right now, in the UK, in Taiwan, in the Philippines, in Southeast Asia. Thank you so much. Even though it's already past the time, it's already 10 p.m. Thank you so much for staying. For all the judges who came here, also from different time zones, thank you so much. And yeah, this is Kenzo, and thank you so much. I'm calling on Brother Sean for our closing remarks.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all the high quality presentation. I just want to express my gratitude and congratulations for all your hard work. So through the projects, we can see how much effort you have put into. And then this is not just the end of the program, but this is the beginning of many meaningful journey ahead. To all the mentors, thank you so much for your patience, guidance, and accompaniments that you have put so much effort into the participants through the process, that we can see how great achievement that they have presented today. And to all the judges, thank you so much. They appreciate for your time, thoughtful feedbacks, and encouragement to all the participants. Your insight, I think it must has helped all our participants to see their works, their from new perspective. Thank you so much. And as we close this chapter this year, may everyone here continue to carry on the hard work and the spirit that we learned here in IYLP. And please continue to think globally, act locally, lead humanely. So let us change with awareness and then grow with collaborations that I think you must have learned a lot of new friends, and hopefully we can meet each other in person. So once again, congratulations. So we'll send out the notice for your results within next week. So thank you so much. Hopefully we'll be able to have a chance to meet anywhere in the world. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.